I think I'm only fucking raw with girls that don't want to reproduce with me.
Yeah.
Like they're like, I don't want to have a baby with Vinny from Jersey Shore. Are you fucking kidding me?
This podcast is a Dear Media production.
Hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
Welcome back to another episode of Girls Gotta Eat.
Welcome back. Cancer season's over.
Oh, we're still talking about it? Okay. What is it now? Leo season. Hello, you little lions.
Leo season.
You little Leo babies.
I'm back. I was gone for so long.
The last 2 weeks have been a lot for me.
A lot of what? Missing me?
Doing nothing. I was like, what to live for?
You
No, I really packed these days. I took all these trips.
No, you were doing a lot. And I was like, where are you? What are you? You're in a hotel now? Like, are you mad at me? What hotel? Like, I thought you were doing a day trip. Then you were like waking up in your villa. New bombshell had entered the villa. And I was like, what is who are you with? Like every day you were like on an overnight trip with some girl. You love to sleep in a bed with your friends these days.
I've slept in beds with all of our friends, Brittany, Hannah, Jackie, and then I just told 2 of our other friends they could stay with me in Vegas.
That's your vibe now. That's your personality.
I didn't know that I could do it.
Yeah, we should do a giveaway for the tour. Sleep in the bed with Rayna. If we don't have any friends at the shows, we just give it to a fan. Come sleep in Rayna's King. That's I don't need the Hyatt Place in Indianapolis.
Oh, every show? You don't have to take any of them? I'll be with Ryan, okay?
I don't like sleeping in the bed with people. This is your new brand. She got Ryan in before the ads, you guys. I haven't even brought in my boyfriend.
He goes, somebody sent me the podcast the other day. You really snuck an I'm in love with Ryan in like at an hour and a half into the podcast. He goes, you know, I would never listen that long. I was like, that's rude.
I know every week when I go over the edit, I'm like, she wants it in there. I'm not taking him out.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I just short circuit. It's late. We've been here all day.
Whose fault is that? We've been having a nice day.
You have a new roommate? Yeah, we've been like really laughing it up, getting it in,
My
catching
hot
up.
neighbor's back. If you guys listened to the snack last week, he's living with me.
Yes. He's been on the show.
Mm-hmm.
He was on the show, last fall?
Yes.
Yeah. So he lives with you now. And you're really coming into your own, but we got to talk
Living
about
with him?
in life.
Oh, in life. Yeah. I have a personality now, you guys. First time ever. Heard it here first. All right. Let's thank some of our partners. Thank you to BetterHelp. Get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/GGE.
Yes, and thanks to Hungry Root, get 40% off your first delivery and free veggies for life at hungryroot.com/GGE. And Skims, shop the Skims Soft Lounge collection at skims.com.
Why did we start talking about this earlier? You said I'm acting unhinged lately.
I mean, you're just everything about you. I don't know if it's like the reels that we're cutting or I don't know. It's just been, it was like the UTI and then it was Rayna and then it was iced coffee and then it was not charging your phone. Like everything has just been really like specific, like just not basic. Like that's Rayna. That's Rayna. Like I feel like ever since Rayna happened, she's a new person.
Our listeners, listen, they're very into it. They keep DMing me. They're like, you're really coming into your own. Like in my late 30s, they're like, you're finding out who you are. And it's really funny because I'm like, I'm this person always.
Yeah.
Like my brother's like, it's so funny. People always ask me like, are Rayna and Ashley in person like they are on the podcast? And he's like, I don't even hesitate. Like they're the exact same.
I wouldn't know how else to be.
Literally. I actually kind of reel it in for this podcast.
No, but I just think, yeah, it's just been these very quirky, funny personality traits, one-liners. Like it's been like you're Rayna or not. And I love it.
We were joking before that Ashley got a boyfriend. I got a personality. But you guys, I've had a personality this whole time.
I don't have a personality anymore. He's my whole personality, obviously.
And Rayna is my personality.
So as we record the 29th, I'm in Canada. I am taking my big trip.
You're saying my boyfriend. I'm taking my big boyfriend.
I'm taking my big boyfriend on a big trip.
He is big.
I'm taking him on a trip. No, so this is like our vacation. Like he took a full week off of work, and so we're gonna have 9 days together. And we have been together now for over a year and a couple months, and we've never spent longer than 4 consecutive days together.
Okay, you told me that last night. I feel like I laughed a little too hard.
No, I think it's a funny thing
out
to
of my
say.
mouth. I mean, it sounds so shocking.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. I mean, we talk about long distance relationships all the time. Like, you guys have done all the things. It's not like you haven't spent an intense amount of time with your families, with me, at weddings, traveling. It just is in spurts. And also, a lot of couples live in the same city, only spend 4 nights a week together, you know?
Totally. Yeah. I mean, and we were together 3 of 4 weekends this past month. Like, we've been spending a ton of time together, but like in terms of consecutive days, you know, because he works a regular job, you know, Monday through Friday. So he takes time off and, you know, he's taken off plenty of Fridays and Mondays and Friday and Mondays and Thursday. I mean, so it's just always been like a 4-day stretch. And so this time, you know, he took the whole week off. So we have weekends bookending either side and it's gonna be a long trip. I'm not like worried. I mean, I think that goes without saying. I'm so excited, but it's just funny to be this far down the road and be like, we're about to double the amount of consecutive days we've spent together.
Key to a long-term relationship. Don't spend that much time together. What are you most excited about? Having sex 9 days in a row?
No, yeah, the sex, like in all those nice hotels.
The companionship, yeah.
Yeah.
What? I said the
No,
companionship.
the Fairmont Lake Louise.
Oh, okay. Well, I was telling you because you've been telling me about this trip and talking about this trip, and because I've been talking to you about Banff and all these places. It's my whole feed now. It's like I'm getting served like reels and TikToks about this, and it just looks unbelievably beautiful.
You know what? I just had a memory unlock that I said it on the first episode of the year. Like that was one of my goals for the year was to go to Italy with him. And then I just got too overwhelmed with the thought of planning. I had you coming at me like July and August. No, just being like July and August are going to be crowded. They're not what you remember from 10 years ago when you went last. And I had friends being like, hey, did you start booking yet? Just want to be a good friend here and remind you got to start getting stuff booked. And I felt really overwhelmed by it. When I thought about not doing it, I felt a sense of relief, which is something that we always use as a test. And I was like, we'll just do it another time. We'll do it next summer or we'll do it whenever. And I just kind of thought of the next thing on my bucket list that I also knew he was interested in. And that was going to Banff in the summer and going to Lake Louise and Lake Moraine and seeing that part of the country in the off season, which I know it's still super crowded there. So, and you know, I love Vancouver. I'm such a slut for Vancouver. We've always been, we've had to go in and out. We haven't had an extra night or day there to do anything in a long time. And it's always been cold. And so we're going to do 2 nights in Vancouver and then 4 nights in Banff. He's coming to LA first, be there for the weekend, and I'm just so excited. People really love it. I mean, I crowdsourced an Instagram and I was validated, and then a lot of stuff I'd already planned were people's recommendations. But like, just I'm getting so amped, and I'll share my itinerary and I'll do an Instagram highlight and all of that. But like, I see it as a place that I would return to. It just is like seems like so much fun stuff. Great restaurants.
I can't wait to see the trip. I'm excited, and I can't wait to hear how 9 days shakes out.
I'm going to give you like a memo every day, like day 7. We're fading. I'm constipated. We have a walk in silence. 48 hours. Yeah, we hiked in silence.
So as you are there, my sister-in-law's baby shower was yesterday, and she flew in from London, and I'm really her mom threw it, but it was my idea. But it was her mom and her sister and her whole family came in. It's just like really nice to do something special for her because she's in London, and I just keep thinking like you don't have as much community as you do in the U.S. with your family, so I'd love to be able to do that for her. And then I'm in New York all week. It's my first time in New York without you.
What?
And have I ever been to New York without you?
I know. I don't know why you would be.
A little girl in a big city.
We're always going there. Are you going to be okay?
Yeah, I'm going to see lots of friends of the pod. I'm going to see Jared Freed. I'm going to see
Call me
Jeremy, Francis. I'm going to FaceTime you.
Okay.
But yeah, lots of our friends on the podcast I'm going to see. And, you know, that's it. I'm very excited. And then stay tuned. We may do something really exciting next week. Big things.
Big things popping. Coconut Gang, rise up.
And just let you guys know, if you're new here, Ashley and I have a line of premium sex toys that are all Bluetooth connected to our phenomenal app. It's called Vibes Only. You can get everything at vibesonly.com. And our really best seller is our Suck and Blow Gel. It's an oral enhancer for everyone. So it will make all of your oral dreams come true. Makes your mouth wetter, juicier. We have 2 seasonal flavors. We have lemonade and juicy peach, and back in stock. Our best seller, vanilla frosting, is back in stock today.
Yeah. So again, suck a dick, eat a pussy, and it's going to taste like a vanilla cupcake. It's so yummy. We've had since the beginning, and it comes in and out of stock. It's hard to keep in stock. People are obsessed with it. And so obviously, like Rayna said, we had these incredible summer flavors. To get them while we still have them, and then stock up on this.
Yeah. Packaging is beyond gorgeous. Great gift for somebody also. So vibesonly.com. Grab that while you can.
And I still have these toenails if you're watching on YouTube. Someone called them traffic cone. And now I'm like, that's so funny.
Right.
Traffic cone toes.
Travacone. She says it funny. Travacone. She says cone, then she says costume.
Cone. Well, that's a little Delaware.
Yeah, it's Delaware. It sounds like sort of like a Pennsylvania
Traffic
cone.
Yeah.
Cone.
Joe Biden.
It's funny. So I want to tell you this like story. Speaking of me traveling, I kind of told you I sort of met this guy in Catalina Island. So Catalina Island, I mean, if you guys have ever seen Step Brothers, it's like fucking Catalina wine mixer.
Yeah.
It's you drive like an hour outside of LA, you take an hour ferry, and it's
Dying to go.
Incredible island.
Yeah, someone told me it was overrated, and they're dead to me.
They're overrated.
Right.
That person sucks.
They gave me a bad rec on a restaurant too, or like a wrong rec on a restaurant too that now is like one of my favorites. I'm like, cannot trust you ever again.
Bad taste. It's a great trip for like 2 days, one night. Me and our friend Jackie went and we stayed at this Zane Grey Pueblo hotel. So I recommend it. It was really fun. So Jackie and I went to this beach club that day. And on the ferry over, I saw this guy who's like very much my type, bald, beard, tattoos, just tall, hot. I was like, Jackie, this is like the hottest guy. She was like, yeah, for you. And
Jackie's
like, sorry, I'm not into dad bods.
Does he not have a dad bod? No, thank you.
Ew. So he was with his son, and it was just like cute watching this dad have like a day with his son, whatever.
Yeah.
I saw him for 1 second on the ferry, and then we got what?
I'm thinking of the thing on the beach. Are you going to talk about that?
This is the same person.
Rayna, I've been looking at these photos every night to give myself a giggle. Okay, keep going. Keep going. No. You sent them to me and Jared.
Oh, that.
Is this the same person as that?
No. I'll tell you guys about it too.
Sorry, guys.
So whatever, I forget about the dad and his son because
Okay.
whatever, they're having a daddy trip. So
Yeah.
Jackie
Like no
and I
ring, like you assuming this guy might
immediately
be
clocked no ring.
Okay, got it.
And it was single dad energy. You could just
Yeah,
tell.
yeah, yeah.
So Jackie and I went to this Descano beach club. It's just like an all day beach club. It's really fun. And the water is like so clear. And a lot of people like snorkel. Like right there by the boats. And so Jackie and I were like sitting on the beach and we like get these 2 chairs and that guy was just sitting in front of us, like in the sand with his son with a little snorkel
Crazy.
gear. It was so crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
probably it's not that big, but like
still like
for him to be sitting directly in front. Actually, we like moved chairs a bunch of times. He had to like be in front of me. So
Right.
I'm sitting there being a huge creep, taking photos of him with his son, which I will show you. I don't like to put little children on the podcast, but I mean, it's just so adorable.
right.
And
Yes, so cute.
He was getting
He
his-
really is so your type.
He's helping his son in a little wetsuit.
Yeah,
It was
it's
so
adorable.
cute. He kept looking at me and smiling, and I was like, "Hi."
You're like,
Yeah, I mean, basically, I was like giving blowjob.
yeah.
And he's like, my kid's here. Leave me alone. And I'm like, I don't know how to hit on a guy with his son. Like,
Right.
he's on like a day trip with his son to go like snorkeling. It's cute. I'm not going to be like,
That's
hey.
a funny question. How do I hit on this guy with his kid?
In the middle of the day,
Yeah,
his
yeah,
like
yeah.
4-year-old son was
Right.
like 2 feet away. I was
Yeah.
going to be like, hi, how are you? Do you want me to help you into that wetsuit?
Yeah.
Like, he was having trouble zipping up the wetsuit. And so I was like, maybe I'll offer. And then the son cock blocked me and helped him. But it's fine. So Jackie, I'm like, how do I get this? How do I start talking to this guy? Whatever. But we kind of like flirted a little bit and like said hi, whatever.
Okay.
And Jackie goes, I have his name. And I was like, how do you have his name? And she goes, it's on his bag. He'd written his first and last name and phone number on his bag.
oh my god!
It's an army duffel. And so I'm
Okay.
assuming that like I don't know, the army gave it to them, and I actually have never.
it
seen
wasn't
this
like his
before.
army number.
It was a black.
It was a phone number.
It was a phone number,
Okay,
which I'll show you. First and last name,
that is crazy.
phone number, and it's like an army duffel.
We should start doing this.
I actually said to Jackie, I want to start putting my number.
I shouldn't. Sorry. Do you ever just like
I feel
forget?
like your big boyfriend won't like it.
I'll do my Instagram handle.
So he like smiles at me. I could tell he was like trying to get me to talk to him a little bit. We're like whatever.
Yeah.
So him and his kid who was cock blocking me. They get
You were
done
about to say him and his dumb kid.
Yeah.
Just say it.
It was like a cute
Let your
little-
personality shine.
Yeah, his dumb kid who was cock blocking me all afternoon. They finished snorkeling, whatever, and I'm assuming he has to like he can't like ask me for a drink. You know, he had to go. So I was like, I'm gonna like be bold and I'm gonna text him
No.
from the number on the bag.
No.
So Jackie and I are like, how are we gonna get it? What are we gonna say? Whatever.
Just hey.
So we did this.
But had he walked away?
He left.
He left the
with his
beach.
son.
Okay. Yeah.
He like turned around. We're like smiling, and I was like, he wants me. Clearly wants me.
Right. Yeah.
So
He's sending the vibes.
I write my number on a piece of paper.
Okay.
Jackie and I wrote it like 10 different times. Both of
Okay.
us took turns writing my phone number and my name. We put my number in the sand, and I texted him,
This is
forgot
iconic.
something." I texted him, you forgot something.
Unreal. Yeah, we'll cross out Rayna's number and we'll put this on YouTube for you guys. You already know her email, so really it's really no big deal. That's so cute.
It went through green. So then Jackie and I were like, what is this? Whatever.
But
And
he's like a dad. Like dads have androids.
I was like, he's like an army guy. I was like, maybe they give you free Android in the army.
Right.
I don't know how armies work. And so we were like, all right, well, it went green. Maybe he's on the boat, like the ferry back.
Yeah.
And I was like, maybe he'll text me back. And you guys, he never texted me back.
Ugh.
And that was the most creative way. Because I wrote my name on a piece of paper. I put it in the sand. And we took a beautiful photo of my name on a receipt with my phone number. In the sand, I wrote, you forgot something, which is so creative and adorable.
I
And
know.
clearly it's me. Like, clearly it's the girl that's been flirting with you all day.
Yeah. Do you think that's still his number or it's like his army number?
So Jackie and I called the number.
You called it. What, like, hi, I'd like to speak to you about Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. Hi, did you know Kamala Harris is running for president? We need $5 from you to double donations tonight to beat Donald Trump. You guys like call like you're canvassing?
Jackie and I we were in bed watching DCC and we called him and it was like a regular phone number with like a answering machine and he didn't answer.
But it was like the standard message or it was like
Hey, sorry,
his
missed your
voice?
call.
It was a voice?
Jackie goes, that's him. That's his voice. And so just to make my ego feel like a little
so
better,
funny.
I was like, I'm going to be so bold. Like, what a crazy story this is going to be if this is my guy.
No, like, what do you have to lose now?
I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
So I was like,
She's full Rayna.
I was like, if I date this guy, like, what an epic story.
Yeah.
Also, we like looked him up. I did a whole background check on the internet. Like, I
Right.
found I know his sister's name. I know where he owns property. Like, I know everything about this man.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he never texts me back. It is his phone number. But I was wondering, like, how much do you think this happens to him? This is like a hot guy. He's tall, good looking guy. And he has his phone number. And he's like a hot name, too. So,
I
wonder how. Or
probably
do you
not
think
that
this is
much. How Rayna's like, this has got to happen to him all the time. I don't know about that. I doubt it's
You
all
think
the
other
time.
people aren't doing this?
I don't think they are. Which makes me even more mad he didn't respond.
I know.
Like, hit me back with a ha ha ha.
I almost was like, I was the girl that was flirting with you with the big boobs on the beach.
Yeah.
No, nothing. I was really hoping to have like an update for you that he like texted me.
Oh, that's so frustrating. Text him right now. Hey,
Should I say? Hey,
you up?
you with your dumb kid still?
Yeah, I'll call him on behalf of the Harris administration.
Okay.
I'm just not going to stop.
We just try to get
I get in
donations
too deep.
from him.
I'm like getting his credit card info.
How would you like to buy Girls Gotta Eat tickets while you're at it?
Yeah. That is so funny. Should we start canvassing for the tour?
Like
We
Tessa,
show up
Tessa, we're
door
like,
to
Tessa, you
door.
have a light load on
we
Friday.
send Tessa door to door to sell tickets. We're like, we have them right here. They're like Girl Scout cookies. That's so funny. Okay, and then is that it? Or
That's it. I mean,
Okay.
Catalina was great. I highly recommend it. We had a great time. You can go parasailing.
are you not going
hiking.
to talk about that couple?
Oh, okay, so also while I was on the
I've
beach,
never seen anything like this.
you guys have to watch YouTube and see these photos. I've never seen anything
Never.
like it before. I'm watching this couple, and this guy is trying to deflate just like a floaty.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Just
he
like
was-
a regular pool float.
Just
They
a
had it
pool
like in
float.
the ocean. Okay.
Yeah, I mean that part of the ocean's a little roped off, so you can kind of float
Okay.
around. So he was trying to deflate this pool float, and
Yeah.
he like couldn't do it. He was like laying on it,
Well, and then
pushing on it.
So then you texted me and Jared on the group chat. And we're like, new ick unlocked.
Yeah, I never even knew that was an ick. But
Right.
like he really was dedicated to like he needed this $30. He needed this pool float, this very special pool float.
Yeah.
His grandma gave it to him or something.
Yeah, it's an
he
heirloom.
would not stop. And so his girlfriend got on the ground and started like helping him deflate the pool float.
Like,
And she like makes eye contact with me, and I was like, I gotta be honest, I am laughing so hard at you too. And I filmed it a little bit.
did you say
And-
that
Yeah.
out loud? Okay.
And
so
she-
you did talk to someone on the beach that day. Just not who you'd hoped.
I was like, if that old dad doesn't want me,
Yeah,
maybe this
maybe
guy's
this
girlfriend
couple
does.
will.
Then I think she just started peacocking because she knew how funny it was, and she climbs on his back.
It's unreal.
And she starts doing acrobatics and throwing her legs in the air, and they were like spread, and then they were like pulled in, and she's just like doing a DCC routine on this guy's back while this guy is like struggling to defloat the pool float.
You guys like aren't understanding. It was Cirque du Soleil. Like her legs are in the air. She's on his back, and it's the core strength alone. I mean, I was laughing so hard. I was like, Rayna, are this real life? You're watching this right now in real life. This isn't like AI.
It's not like a
I
bit.
was crying.
She just did it in her own volition. Jackie and I were sitting with a bucket of beers, just watching, just coaching her, egging her
right.
on.
Like you couldn't pay for a ticket to that. I mean, like iconic that you guys got to witness this. I can't believe the photos. We can post them, right? I mean, you can't really tell who these people are.
You can't tell who they are.
Yeah.
It was incredible. And
Right.
also, I just loved her.
Yeah. Unreal. Catalina
Catalina.
mixer.
Fucking Catalina wine mixer.
Fucking Catalina wine mixer. Okay, well, I have to tell you another unhinged story, which I can't wait, but let's just do a quick break.
Okay.
So I am going to tell you guys about Hungry Root. We love this so much. I really just can't stand thinking of a meal I might want to cook. Then you have to go to the grocery store and you have to buy all the ingredients. Then you have like extra stuff and I feel like you're wasting. I mean, a lot of times I'm cooking for one person. And so I'm like, I can't buy all these like ingredients and they're like going to waste. So we're obsessed with this. So with Hungry Root is the easiest way to eat healthy. They send you fresh, high quality groceries, simple, delicious recipes, and essential supplements. It's like having someone else do all the planning and shopping so you don't even have to think about it. It really feels like having your own like personal shopper. You answer this quiz and talk about your health goals, your dietary restrictions, your favorite foods, how much time you want to spend cooking. I love that they ask you that. And then they build you this personalized cart with all your grocery needs for the week, including easy 4-ingredient recipes to put those groceries to use. So everything's customizable. So you don't have to worry about getting stuff that you didn't want. And I mean, the meals are incredible. Like I'm looking at these pastas. They have this blackened shrimp tagliatelle. They have seared strip steak and asparagus. They have like an amazing burrito bowl. They have some amazing curries. I love a curry. And their meats are so high quality. I was like looking at some of the different like meats they use and from the different farms they get stuff from, and everything is like the highest quality. Like the meats, the dairy, the vegetables. And then there's like snacks and jerky sticks and desserts and just everything that you could want. There's nothing that you would get at the grocery store that you can't just have delivered straight to your home. I'm looking at this avo feta turkey burger. And again, not just meals, all the other stuff too. So you're going to have all your food for the week and just make it like really, really easy. We're such a big fan of it. And again, the quality. I feel like it's so important to have good food and know where it's coming from and make your life easier, healthier, and more delicious. So right now, Hungry Root is offering Girls Gotta Eat listeners 40% off your first delivery and free veggies for life. Just go to hungryroot.com/GGE to get 40% off your first delivery and get your free veggies. That's hungryroot.com/GGE. Don't forget to use our link so they know we sent you.
Yes, and this show is sponsored by BetterHelp. So let's talk about self-care routines and what's non-negotiable. So, you know, some people never skip leg day or therapy day. I never skip egg white frittata day at Erewhon. But when your schedule is packed with kids' activities, big work projects, and more, it's easy to let those priorities kind of slip. Even when we know it makes us happy, it's hard to make time for it. So when you feel like you have no time for yourself, non-negotiables like therapy are more important than ever. So it's a great way to check in with yourself and set healthy boundaries, check in with your goals for the year. Maybe you want to focus on your romantic life, friendship, work. It's just a way to check in, see what I'd like to improve. And if you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, so designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. You guys will just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Never skip therapy day with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/GGE today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/GGE.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you this story. I went on this long trip. It started with the wedding. I talked about the wedding that I went to, my boyfriend's best friend and the outfits. I posted a little reel online of the dresses I wore to this South Asian wedding. And then I went to Delaware and I got to spend time with my friends, my family, my 2 nephews. I mean, they are just, Jay is like counting. He's ABCs. Rayna, it's crazy. He's so fucking smart. I know everybody thinks their kid's smart, but seriously.
When you guys FaceTime me, like made my day. He's so smart.
He's just like, he'll just want to talk to Rayna. Like he'll be like, Rayna. And then we like call her and he's like so cute. I
feel
love
like I'm
being
gonna
around
die
him.
when I see him. He's not gonna know who I am.
He does.
You think?
He like, I'm not saying he can read, but it's
I'm
crazy.
not saying he can fly a plane, but he could probably get pretty close.
Yes. He like Sparkle Eyes texted me and he like said his name when the text popped up.
That's insane.
Like so we were like doing an Instagram story and I was like, how was your beach day? And he was like, it was good. I love the beach. And then he texts me and he says his name. I'm sorry, but how did he?
That's insane.
Because even if he can't read his name, which would be crazy, he's only 20 months. He's going to be 2 in October. I think he knows that he texts me, which is a crazy correlation to make. No, he's so smart. It's unbelievable. He can count to 16. He can say the ABCs. He's not 2.
Is that normal?
No. He plays basketball. He's got his little basketball set.
Well, that is normal for your family.
But I was
you
like,
come out of the womb with a basketball with your family. You
not me.
So tall.
You know, I was a JV junior. I'm the worst basketball player that's ever lived. I just rode the bench, never scored in 3 years. And I was like helping him with his basketball. And like Matt and stuff were like this is the only time you've ever been able to like coach somebody on basketball. I was like, this is the only person that thinks I'm good at basketball ever in my life.
2-year-old.
Is this 2-year-old.
He's a genius.
Yeah. So, and then after that, I did this little weekend trip with some girls. And this was my friend who I had mentioned had breast cancer and went through 2 rounds of chemo. And I went and sat with her, and we've talked about her a lot in the podcast. We shared when she was diagnosed, and she's been so inspirational, and that, you know, she is, for the most part, cancer free, and she's doing great. You wouldn't ever guess it. I mean, she looks great. Obviously, she's always been such great energy, and she just feels so positive. She's such a joy to be around. And so this was like her best friends wanted to do a trip for her just after all she's been through. And one of the girls pretty much planned it all. And I just went, and we did this on the Eastern Shore of Maryland. And it was just nice. We had this beautiful house. It was just like very special, you know, to be there with her and just like celebrate her and have like a nice little girls trip. So anyway, then I left there. I drove to my parents' house. I spent some time there, and then I was leaving to come back to LA on a 5 p.m. flight. So I'm rushing around trying to get ready, and like the Biden thing happens. Like Biden announced he was dropping out. Shortly thereafter, endorses Kamala. We talked about this in the snack last week, but that just like threw everything into disarray. Like I kind of lost track of time. You know, like the texts are coming in. I'm talking to my parents about it, you know, so all of a sudden, like we're scrambling, you know, we got to really rush to get to the airport. Now it's Sunday, beach traffic, trying to get from Dover to Philly. So I missed the bag check cutoff. Tense hour in the car with my dad, trying to make it 5 minutes. I missed the bag check cutoff. I was like, okay, what I'm going to do is leave my suitcase with my dad, consolidate everything into my carry-on, my base carry-on. And so I'm, you know, in the back of his SUV, propped open, suitcase open, trying to consolidate, 90-degree heat. He's like, hurry up, Ashley. I'm like, shut up. You know, like it was so chaotic. And so I like load that base bag. My shoulder is breaking, shoved everything in I could. And then I was like, you just got to mail me this. Like, thank God I had that option, because there wasn't a later flight to take. Like I was like, I got to do this. Go to TSA. Just everyone's in a bad mood. I'm just like, fuck all of you guys. You know, sometimes it's endearing, but sometimes Philly people, you're like, what's going on here? You guys hate Kamala? Why is everybody in a bad mood? I thought our spirits were up, right? So then I made these notes. I get on the plane. I got to ask you this. There is a lady in my seat. So she decided to like switch seats. So I was seat
straight to jail.
So I was
feel so mad about it.
I know. So I was seat 1A, very first seat. I'm usually 3A. 1A, first, you know, seat, window seat on the plane, bulkhead seat. She's in it. And I see like 1F, the identical seat on the other side is open. So I was like, you know what? I hate that someone would just take my seat. She was this older lady, wanted to sit with her husband, whatever. I hate that you would take my seat before I board without asking me. But at the very least, it's like the identical seat.
Oh,
Still was annoyed.
Totally. It's
So
just annoying.
I know.
I booked this seat.
That's what I'm saying. And you can ask to switch, but you gotta wait to ask.
Like, I'm sorry that you didn't do this, but I did.
So then,
sorry, I get
she's
really
like,
upset about it.
she's kind of being a bitch about it. I'm like, is this real life? But like, I'm not gonna make a scene. I've already been through enough. So I sit in that identical seat 1F. Then a girl gets on the plane. Her seat was actually 1F. That lady was 2F. So now I'm not even in the same type of seat I booked. I'm not in the bulkhead. I was like, so then I have to get up. Me and this girl are kind of like, this lady fucked the whole thing up. And she's going, is there a problem? And I've just dealt with it. I was like, I'm not going to make a scene. I'll let this girl have 1F. I'll go back to 2F. I slid in next to this guy. He was like, that was crazy. I'm like, I know, it's fucking crazy. He was like, I've just been saying no lately. Someone asked me to move. I say, no, thank you. Like, could you ever swap seats with somebody without like asking them?
This happened to me on the plane, and I wasn't going to speak out about this publicly because I don't know if I did the right thing. I'm not sure.
Okay.
So I got on the plane, and I had booked a window seat, and in that row was this woman, her husband, and a baby 2.5, 3 years old, like a toddler.
Yeah.
The baby was in the middle, and I look at my seat, and I'm like, that's my seat.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, do you mind if I sit with my family? And I'm like, where's your seat? She points to the exact row across in the middle seat.
No.
And I was like, I do mind that you sit there.
Yes.
And I made her get up.
No, Rayna, I'm sorry. It's
And
like,
listen, if it was an infant, different story. If she wasn't with the father, different story. Like, I would never make a woman, like, even though she fucked me, I would be like, fine, you have an infant on. The father was there with the child, and I wanted my window seat, and boy, did that father and child make me pay because she pooped in her pants, and he never changed it. And then she just went to sleep, and she kicked me the whole flight. And what am I going to do? I sent her mom back to Timbuktu. And I'm going to be like,
crazy.
Can you change this poopy diaper and make your child stop kicking me, please?
No, but that's fucked up. I'm sorry. Like the only way you can do this is if it's an identical seat.
Totally. You think I'm going to middle for you?
Yes.
Because you have a dumb family?
It's like, I'm sorry, you should have chosen another flight where you could have selected the seats you wanted.
Or a different part of the plane. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
you're taking 3 seats together.
Right.
Why am I suffering? I don't know y'all.
Like if you're booking flights with your family or your partner and you have the mindset of we'll just ask people to switch, don't.
No.
You
don't.
can ask.
You might come upon me, and I will not help you.
I just love that man was like, I've been saying no. Again, like if it's a similar seat, I'll do it because I would want the same done to me. If I wanted to fly on a long flight with my partner, that's 5 hours. I get it. But you gotta wait till I board and then ask me.
Only if it's the same seat. That's the only way I'm switching.
Yes. Okay. So then we encounter the most unhinged flight attendant of all time. Philly flight attendants are different.
They're crazy. You guys, they are crazy in the best way.
Especially American. Whatever
What
they're
is happening?
doing with the Philly American flight attendants, there's a special school for them. I don't know where they get trained. They get trained with the football team or
They
something.
get trained with like the cheerleaders from the Water Boy. Like I don't know where they get trained.
Okay, so you were kind of busy, and so I was like,
I didn't
not
have service.
really-
I was in Malibu.
I wasn't really like live tweeting to you, and I was like, maybe I'll save it for the podcast anyway. So I'm live tweeting to Sparkle Eyes. I texted him, this wild male flight attendant is on a mission to own every passenger on this plane.
Also, it's always a man. It's always a male flight attendant on American from Philly.
like spicy, yes. Okay, so he's on the mic. 2 guys behind me, strangers. Men are dying to talk to people. They are worse than women.
Men are
When
lonelier than ever.
Men are so lonely. When they meet on a plane, they do not shut the fuck up. And controversial opinions, stop talking on planes. Just stop at full volume.
No, don't talk.
Just stop talking.
Don't be like me and Ashley. We yell at each other across the aisle. People are like, "Do you guys want to sit together?" And we're like, "No, we're good."
Like, we'll just yell over you in your poopy diaper. So these men are talking so loud over the announcements. Then you're screaming.
What are they talking about? Pussy or sports?
Just their dumb jobs.
Do men talk about anything besides that? Other jobs?
Their
Okay.
jobs. So they are vibing, which good for them. But I'm just like, could you just shut
They're
up? Like, stop
vibing.
talking on planes, everybody. And you already have to be loud to be over the noise of the plane. Now they're talking over the announcements. Please be quiet during the announcements, not because you need to listen, but because you're shouting now. So the flight attendant, he's doing all his announcements, and then he ad-libbed, and he was like, also, please pause your conversation, and just glared at the 2 men. He came around and was like, also, while the announcements are going, please pause your conversation, and just like looked at these 2 men. I was like, this is crazy. He's on the mic.
He's doing crowd work.
Calling people out on the mic. So then the lady that took my seat, he makes her put her purse in the overhead bin. She didn't want to put her purse up there. He was like, well, you have to. I don't make the rules. And so he's going back, and I was like, drag her. Like, I was like, get her. You get her. Like not knowing that I was next. Right. So I was like, get her. And so he's like fighting with her. And I was like,
He's
get
like,
her,
"You're
king,"
next to F. Shut
Right.
up.
Yeah.
Shut up."
So then he just owned her, right? She had to put her purse up there. He was making snarky comments. I was like, I couldn't keep up in my phone enough to write all the notes down. Okay. But then his vibe was he was going to ruin your life and then make up later. So within minutes, he's showing her pictures of his dog on his phone.
No.
He had his phone out, showing the whole front row.
He
Here's
pulled my
his dog.
favorite line at an airline. I don't make the rules. And then he was like, "Look at my pet."
He was like, look at my dog. Yeah. And by the way, he's at a 12. The whole cabin can hear every word he's saying. He's showing everyone the
That's
dog.
why he didn't like 3F. He was like, "Nobody can be louder than me."
But then she shows him her dog, and he goes, did you shop or adopt? I was like, I love this man, right? So then he put on a red scarf. It was 90 degrees. Okay, so then he's going around trying to get everybody's meal orders, right? So he turns to lady in 1A, and he goes, Ashley Hesseltine? To her, because that's where I was supposed to sit. He's trying to get her order. And she goes, no, we swapped. I'm like, you swapped?
Don't throw me under the bus,
Right.
bitch.
And he goes, whole cabin. Well, I guess we won't be using names today since they decided to play musical chairs. I guess we won't be using names today. Didn't say anyone's name the rest of the
I've
time.
never heard anybody call me by my name on a plane.
Well, they usually come over, Miss Greenberg. What do you want to eat today?
Sure.
Yeah. First class shit, guys. Sorry. Okay. So then Watergate starts. He got everyone's orders. I told him I didn't want anything to drink. I kind of forgot my water bottle was empty, whatever. So he gets everyone's drink orders.
They
And
give
I was
good
like,
pours on those flights.
yes, the Philly wine pours. But I was like, I'm all set. I thought I had a water bottle, whatever. So he's getting his like meal service later. Then I got thirsty. And so I asked him, he's trying to get everybody's shit together. I asked him, I was like, actually, can I get a water? Rayna, he looked at me like I had shit in my seat. He glared at me to the point where I almost said, is everything okay? So he glared at, did not say, okay. He glared at me, and then turned on his heel and went and brought me my water. He set it down, glared at me again. And I'm sitting next to the guy. I'm like, are you seeing? This is crazy. What did I do? And I think I fucked up his flow.
Okay.
So then he, again, tried to make up. He kept refilling it, right? A couple of times I hear him say to multiple people, I can't hear anything you're saying. All over the place. Again, he's high. I can't hear you anything you're saying. Like the condescending.
But you can hear the stuff they were saying.
I could hear everyone loud and clear. The two guys behind, I heard every word. He gets in their face. I can't hear anything you're saying. Like the way he said it was so condescending. Okay. So then Watergate continues. So he came by. He was like, do you want more water? I'm like, sure. So he fills it up. I drink it quickly. I'm really feeling like thirsty. I'd had a long 10-day trip, whatever. He comes back shortly. I didn't chug it. He comes back. He goes, is that the water I just filled up? Like I had shotgunned a beer. He goes, is that the water I just spilled up?
This guy's at a 12.
Shamed me, took my water glass. Okay, so then he brings the ice cream cart out. So he's doing ice cream service. And then someone had the audacity to ask him for something while he was serving ice cream. He goes, can't you see how busy I am?
I'm gonna pee my pants. The ice cream cart. Not the ice cream.
Can't you see how busy I am? Rayna, he said, can't you see how busy
I'm gonna pee my pants.
So then, like, things were starting to simmer down, and like
Everybody has their toppings and their ice cream.
Like, yes, everyone got their ice cream, and
And their
like,
toppings
everyone's
too?
happy.
Okay.
Yeah, toppings, hot fudge, whatever. So then the aisle was cleared because I wouldn't dare try to move past it, whatever.
Fuck no.
So I have to go to the bathroom. I get up in their little area, and there are purple flashing string lights.
What?
In the flight attendant area.
No.
Like Christmas lights.
What?
Flashing club lights. I'm like, am I having a stroke? Have these been here the whole flight? Rayna, I'm talking like a college dorm room. Lights. Is this even safe?
I didn't know that was illegal on a plane.
So I'm like, oh my God, what a vibe. I go, what a vibe to him. And he goes, that's all me. No one else is doing this.
No one.
I can't.
Oh.
No one else
in aviation is doing
no one else is doing this. I was like, I love it. Because at this point now we're back to being friends. And I was like, I got a compliment. I'm scared of doing this.
Yeah, it's probably not legal.
I'm scared of him. So I was like, I love it. He was like, you like it? I'm like, I love it. So I go to the bathroom. I come out. He has his phone ready. Look at this. It's the weather for the week in LA. Look at this. I was like, yeah, the weather. He's like, perfect. He goes, where do you live? I was like, LA. And he was like, I'm from the East Coast, from DC, whatever. He was like, I just can't wait to be in Manhattan Beach tomorrow morning. I'm going to walk on the Strand. And I was like, I love that for you. And it was just so funny. Like, that was kind of the final interaction. But like, I come out of the bathroom. I'm around look at this. Weather. He's got his weather app pulled up.
Listen, he knows. You and I talk about the weather.
I know.
It's our whole personality.
I hate to end it on an anticlimactic note, but basically he was just going to go to the Strand. And so when I got off the plane, I was like, I hope you have fun in Manhattan Beach tomorrow. And like, he looked at me like he was taken aback that I like remembered a thing. Like, maybe people don't give him a lot of love because he's such an asshole. But, you know, like, I wanted to end it like we're buds.
Yeah. You fist bumped and that was
Yeah.
it?
We fist bumped. Can you believe?
What a flight. That is hysterical. Okay, my favorite was the ice cream cart. I'm busy. I'm trying to do something here. You just don't get flights with entertainment that often, you know?
But you feel it immediately. Like, these flight attendants, whatever reason, like, a lot of them like feel like they want to be comedians sometimes. You
All
know,
the
like, you get a
time.
lot on Southwest. They're like funnier and spicier.
Yes.
But those Philly flight attendants are so different.
The way they try to get us drunk,
Yes.
they're just like, yeah, we'll fill it up as much as you want.
I hope you appreciate it.
I loved this story. I also just think you have really funny plane stories. You always have funny flight attendant stories.
He was on another level. Okay.
I should tell you this book thing.
Yes.
So, you know, on the snack 2 weeks ago, we talked about how the author of Akatar, Sarah J. Maas, has like outsold
Everybody.
everybody.
Yeah.
But on that list also is Lucy Score, and she wrote this set of books. It's 3 in the series. The third one just came out, but the first one's called Things We Never Got Over. It's
I
a
have it.
big
I own
ass book. You use it as a paperweight.
Yeah.
It's a bazillion pages.
Yeah, I
It's
put
600
I use
something
it for
pages.
my fireplace. No, I'm kidding. I just haven't read it. I have it though.
I'm going to preface this space. The book was fine. I'm not here to
You
talk
read
shit on
it?
this book. I finished this book.
You love a long book.
It makes me feel accomplished. But I started reading it and I was like, motherfucker. I've been trying to get away from books that are about these like totally helpless, flailing women and these totally broken men that they just like wait around for and they just like wait them out. And like, it's like a will they, won't they? They like come, they always come around at the end of the book. I'm not necessarily saying that's what happens in this book. I'm not giving it away, but like, it's always these hyper broken men that just like can't ever let anybody in. Something happened to them one time when they were a kid. And like, that's the whole fucking storyline. And so I started reading this book and I was like, I didn't really realize that's what this was going to fucking be. And I'm sick of this shit. And it's just, I've read 100 of these. I'm trying to read something different. So I'm like, I'll give it 100 pages. I got 100 pages. It's 600-page book. So I'll give it 100. So I'm like at page 100 and I'm like, I don't care about this fucking book. So the way that it's narrated is there's two main characters, the flailing woman and then the super damaged guy who's like hot but like won't let anybody in. So they co-narrate the book every other chapter. So I get to page 100. I'm like, fuck this book. I hate this book. So sorry, Lucy. Listen, I finished the book. It was fine. It's just, I'm bored of this plot line.
Okay.
So I get to page 100 and I'm like, let me just glance at page 101. Because like nothing spicy is happening. Like what happens in this book? So basically, he's sort of like living across the street from the female main character. It's like a will they, won't they? So I see the word men fantasize, and I'm like, oh, what is that sentence gonna say? So the sentence says, I'd woken up with a raging hard-on thanks to the dream featuring my new next door neighbor's smart mouth sliding down my cock, and I was like,
out of nowhere.
I'm finishing this book.
Out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
Hadn't said cock till then.
The word cock, page 101. You never see the word cock in a book.
You don't. Yeah.
Never.
Okay, Lucy.
I was just like, what am I you don't read sex scenes like that. Ashley, the way I devoured this book, the sex scenes are so good.
What? That's crazy. It took that long to get into it like that.
He's like, she milked the load out of my cock with her orgasms, and I just like shot one after the next into her. Like, he's talking about like parting her slit and fingering her, and I'm like, what is this book? This came out of nowhere. There's fucking daisies on the front.
That is so funny. Oh my God. I swear to God, I've seen like a TikTok about that. When people talk about like reading on the subway and you're actually reading like erotic books, but the cover has daisies on it. I swear that's like an example of one where like the cover you wouldn't know. Look at it.
It's a light blue book with daisies on it.
Things we never got over.
Things we never got over.
Parted her slit all over my rock hard cock.
Yes, milked my cum out of my dick.
So
I finished that book.
Yeah, a lot of people finished apparently.
Masturbated like 6 times reading that book. Sorry.
That's a long time to get into that. I bet there's people listening that gave up before page 100 and now they're in it.
If I hadn't read like 10 other books this year with that storyline, I do just have a problem with the storyline of like, you wait out these like super broken men and then they do come around and you're the one that just cracks them wide open. And I'm just bored with the storyline. Yeah. I think it's a very popular trope. It's everybody's fantasy to like be the one that does that. I've dated that guy, but like, I don't know, but cock, page 101. Oh, and also,
cock.
It was so hot. So,
oh my God. Well, maybe I'll pick it up and start at page 101.
Yeah, I recommend it.
Can you just give me the cliffs on page 1 to 100?
Yeah, maybe a different book because I was masturbating reading this, but
I have it at home. Okay.
Yeah.
So paperwork.
You'll like it.
Okay.
Anyways.
Okay. Well, thanks for that.
So I ordered the next one.
Oh. We're not done here.
There's 3 in the series. I was like, let me get into the next one. So he's like a bad boy, bartender, barber, owns a bunch of stuff. He won the lottery. I don't know. He sounds hot. Okay. The next book is about his brother. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see what his cock is like.
Yeah.
Okay. Shout out to Lucy.
Lucy can write the hell out of a sex scene. Some of the best I've ever read. So that's my rec.
Okay. I have just one rec. I have a music rec. Do you like Glass Animals, like Heat Waves? You know that song.
Sing it.
Some nights when I think about you.
Yeah.
Some nights when I think about you. Yeah. Their album came out and I like really like it.
Cute.
A lot of the songs, there's a song called Creatures in Heaven that I just like loved. It was like a song that me and like Sparkle Eyes were really loving. So we were really anticipating the album and it came out on July 19th. And so it was nice. I was driving around, the tri-state area on this vacation listening to it. A lot of the songs kind of sound similar and I don't say that as a criticism. It's just nice. It's a nice listen. Like Heat Waves always reminds me. I think it was like summer 2021. I think we were in the Hamptons. Summer 2021 was so lit. Like right out of COVID.
The best.
Until everybody got the Delta variant. But it was a good time. But I just really like them. So I don't know. I maybe want to see them in concert. I'm just really feeling Glass Animals. And their album is called I Love You So Fucking Much.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. Okay, well, 2 recs for you guys. One more wholesome than the other.
Yeah, one really wholesome. All right.
Okay, we're going to tell you about Skims. We're talking about Skims Soft Lounge, and you are
I've
wearing
been wearing it for this whole episode.
the Soft Lounge.
I own so many pajamas. Like, I love a pajama set. I wear it all day long because I work at home where I charge my phone. And so I am obsessed with this. It's so soft, and it's a little like more slim fit than like the other PJ sets that I've like chosen in the past. So it's like loungy and sexy.
It totally is. This like light rib, which you guys, I don't know if you can see, but like you get up close and you realize it's this rib, this super soft, stretchy enough. I'll talk about the dress. The dress, this is a thing, right? Like this special dress, like people
upstairs.
have it. Yeah, it's so iconic. So this is the Soft Lounge long slip dress. If you go to my Instagram, I posted this reel. It has like 1 million views now. And it's me and Sparkle Eyes, and I'm wearing the dress, and we do like a cute little thing. And I ask him to spin, and he says no, and whatever. People loved it. But that's the dress. If you want to see it, the toes, you can catch a glimpse of the toes. And I think I talked about this before. I can't believe the way it makes me look. I put it on, and I was like, how was that my body? I mean, I like love my body, but it just gave me curves I didn't think I had. Like,
I mean, I commented on the video, but I meant it. Like, I can't believe he let you out in public as that. Like, that's an at-home dress. That's a for his eyes dress.
it's so sexy, and I dressed it down with the sandal.
It's like a super form-fitted long
Yeah,
black
super
dress.
form-fitting, but like you can dress it up or down. Like I think you could wear it to a wedding. I mean, it's just, again, it's still really classy. It's not like it's super revealing or anything. And you could do it with a heel. You could do it with like a wrap over it, like accessories and a bag. But I just wore it out to dinner with like a flat sandal.
I like it with like a leather jacket. I think it's cute.
Oh, that's a great idea too.
Thank you.
I love that idea. Yeah. Oh my God, like white cropped leather jacket. And then I also got the Soft Lounge Scoop onesie. And this feels very Kim to me. Just like a shorts onesie, kind of a singlet style.
Yeah.
And I wear that around the house. You can wear it out, like during the day with some sneakers. Like you can leave the house in that too. Like you could leave the house in this if you wanted. But Rayna's got more of the
this is
pajamas, and I
yeah.
ordered some of their other stuff. So we're just going kind of rogue, but these are incredible. Like the Soft Lounge is so incredible. Check out that collection. You have to get that dress, you guys. Like it's magic. I
Yes.
don't know what they put in that dress. So you guys can shop the Skims Soft Lounge collection at skims.com. Now available in sizes extra, extra small, all the way to 4X. If you haven't yet, be sure to let them know we sent you. After you place your order, select Girls Gotta Eat in the survey and select our show in the drop-down menu that follows. And that's just like really important. We really hope that you guys are doing that. Like it's really quick and easy. Just place your order, have it sent to you, and then they're just going to ask you where you heard about it. And we would love if they see Soft Lounge orders coming in thanks to Girls Gotta Eat.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, let's get into it.
All right, guys, we are very excited to welcome our guest today. He is a former star of Chippendales. He is a current star of the Jersey Shore, and he is the host of Something Went Wrong podcast. Please welcome to the show, Vinny Guadagnino. Baby! Nailed
You still
it.
kind of like stumbled a little bit.
No, I didn't. No, I did not practice this for days.
She's been yelling your name out for days.
Yeah, I just look in the mirror and I'm like, Guadagnino.
It's okay. I have that effect on women. I've never had the Chippendales thing be my first
The
intro.
first thing. Yeah.
Well, I get that a lot. Like everyone just, all they want to talk about is the Chippendales thing. And then, which is fine. But I'm like, guys, that's not like the pinnacle of my career.
What is?
Gym Tan Laundry.
Jersey Shore for now until I start, I do stand up now. So hopefully that'll be the next era of my life.
Oh, yeah. We're excited to talk about
But
it.
Jersey for sure.
Well, it's funny because we asked on Instagram, we were like, what questions do you have for him? And one of the number one questions was like, if he didn't do Jersey Shore, like, where does he think his life would be now?
Well, I went to college. I graduated from the College of Staten Island, which is, very prestigious. And I was actually I had a political science degree, and I was interning for like a local politician, and I was going to go to law school and somehow be involved in politics or something like that.
You'd be president.
Like I was going to be president. Yep.
You could
I'd
be.
probably be better off being president now. I have more of a chance of it now. than back
Absolutely.
then.
They love reality stars as presidents.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, everything really changed for your hopes and dreams in 2016. You can do this.
That's true. But yeah, no, I was going more towards that route. I was like, when Jersey Shore first came on, I was 21 years old, so I just graduated, and I was kind of at that crossroads of my life. Like, do I get a real job? And I had a real job offered to me. First of all, I was delivering pizza, which is every Staten Island boy's.
That's a stripper fantasy.
Yes.
That's how it started.
Yeah, maybe I can.
If we
I
had
should
you
bring
come
it
to our
back.
show, we would do Pizza Guy.
I should bring it back.
Well, she
yeah.
do Dick in a Box with you.
I did it on The View once. I didn't.
You did
strip.
Dick in a Box on the
No,
View?
I brought them pizza.
And then
I didn't put my dick
was
out.
it sexy?
No. It wasn't
Oh, okay.
sexy.
You
I
just delivered a pizza?
I guess anything I do is sexy, but it wasn't like Whoopi wasn't, getting hot and bothered.
Anna, are you turned on?
The whole pizza delivery thing. Right?
We did The View. Whoopi wasn't there that day, but we have a sex toy line too. And
Oh, nice.
we brought some stuff for you. We'll give it to you on your show. But they were like,
Hey, yo.
they asked us what the company was, and then we were like, we were told not to talk about it. And then it was this whole awkward moment
'Cause they're
where it's
asking
live,
you. Right.
and
Joy was like, just say what it is. And I'm like, we have so many emails that say, like, we will be fined $100,000 if you
She's
talk
trying to
about
catch you.
this.
no,
Yeah,
Joy
yeah.
was like, is it bigger than a bread box? We were like, what? It could be. Like, it was just, they were really
Yeah.
baiting us. And
I don't know if I should do this.
She's like, I dare you to say this.
no, it was great. We had a great time. We love them, but it was just very funny. We're like, you guys brought it up.
I know. I started spiraling. I was like, go to girlsgottaeat.com. You'll find it there.
Nice.
You like
Okay.
sex toys?
Um,
We can warm up a little bit before we get into that.
It's
We're
okay.
talking about your
It's-
political career.
I thought you guys, when I because I remember from Homeless Pimp and everything, I thought you guys were like talked about food and stuff, and then I did some research and I'm like, oh wow, very sexual.
One time I did a podcast. Carl Radke had a podcast years ago. Do you know who that is from Summer House? And he had me as a guest on the show. And
And he's like, I don't know those lesser reality shows. And he's like, I've been in the game for 10 years. I don't know
I
Carl from
invented the
Summer
game.
House.
I'm the only Z-list reality star around here, guys.
Wait, he was like, no, I don't.
well, he actually refused to come on the show. So I sat down with him and he was like, so you have a podcast about food. And I was like, you didn't even read the Instagram bio, did
Yeah,
you?
yeah, yeah,
That
yeah,
is
yeah.
crazy.
Anyway, we're talking about dicks and sex toys and what's up.
Okay,
what up?
so
I don't
we have
really
so many
use sex
questions to
toys.
ask you.
Okay,
How did
I'm a sex god.
you get? How big is your dick? No.
What's your body count?
I lost count. It's up there.
Like
I'm
hundreds?
bad at math.
Hundreds?
More
Yeah,
math.
definitely hundreds
Yeah.
Good for you.
for sure.
Is it hard to for somebody to be memorable after that? Or are you just like,
That's a
I've
great
seen
question.
my
How do you
feeling
stand
on
out?
body count is like, I just don't care. I actually
yeah.
would rather be with somebody that has like a lot of past sexual partners because you feel like you've kind of gotten it out of your system. But so I think it's a good thing. But is it hard for somebody to stand out, or are you just like so desensitized to everything at this point?
Wait, you
Now it's too early.
That
for
took a
this.
turn.
I was good with the
Sure.
sex toys.
Well, I try to
now
fuck
you're
you
into
later,
the
Vinny. I want to know what to do.
Psychology. I need to warm up.
How does someone stand out? Rayna takes notes.
I mean, right? I mean, I just think that you go through different chapters of your life, and there was one chapter that was got on my show, 21 years old, doing club appearances 4 times a week all over the country, sometimes the world.
Yeah.
And, it kind of racks up when you're the star and girls want to go home with you every night.
Yeah.
So that was that chapter. It was just about, that's what you do when you get drunk. Guys, that's the most important thing to them. Young
Totally.
guys. Well, probably old guys, but back then, young, single, 21-year-old famous guys, it's all right, we're drunk now, after party.
Dream. Hell yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of the chapter I was in, and now I'm not in that chapter anymore. So to stand out to me now, it's more of a connection and someone that I like, and someone I feel is very hard to get, high quality, valuable type. You know what I mean?
It's interesting. I think about high quality humans. I don't know if I've ever heard a man say it like a high quality human.
Yep. High value, high quality.
Okay.
What does that mean?
I don't know. It could be that. First of all, definition is different for
Totally. It's
for
open to
everybody.
interpretation.
I think that women of high value man is someone that a guy is successful, that has a good career, has made money or something like that. I don't need that in a woman. I don't need her to have a lot of money for me to do that. So for me, it's just I don't know. I like to be inspired by talent. I like dancers, not strippers, not my coworkers, but girls that
Is that why you want to dance with the stars? You're I'm gonna find a woman.
Oh my god, no! Well, Dance with the Stars was different. I didn't have an exciting season, but I have done dance shows where I felt the type of way about my partner.
Okay.
I don't
And
understand. The partners don't always fall for each other because it's so intimate. Is all
Yeah.
I'm saying. Is
well,
just the whole process.
it is intimate. I mean, but Coco, my partner, her boyfriend, soon to be husband, is a dancer too, and they're desensitized to it.
Yeah.
I would think
He
the
was
dance
there,
was that, yeah.
grab her, telling me what to do and stuff. It's not sexual.
I
For
guess
them.
For them.
For them, yeah.
I
And-
guess newbies are I would just be I'm in love with you.
Yeah,
you get
yeah.
so intimate.
No, that could
They're also
happen.
teaching you something the connection is just
Exactly.
gotta be.
But you like somebody with some kind of talent. they're excited
I like
about.
talent. You know, I like sexual attraction. Like that's like a big thing to me. You know what I mean? So talent, sexual attraction, and then like I am looking to like settle down. So like I like a woman that's like nurturing, that's like loving,
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
So
In
when
the same
that-
phase of life.
When did you decide that? Just now.
Pretty recently, yeah,
okay.
just now on this podcast, yeah,
He's like Rayna, actually.
exclusive,
pretty-
I met Rayna.
exclusive, guys. You know, breaking news.
I am really talented. I can't really dance though.
Well-
I'm really good at what I do, but I'm not.
Never-
I'm not a
no.
dancer.
You're a performer. But I mean,
I'm a
so
performer.
that was kind of the main thing that came up. Like you've kind of been this bachelor type guy.
Slut.
You're pretty open about it. Yeah, slut, whatever you want to say. Your words, not ours. But and we like respect it when people like own it and they're like, this is what I'm doing right now. I'm not looking to settle down. But so it's interesting you say you've kind of decided you want to go down that road.
Yeah, I mean, like you know, I don't want to die alone,
Yeah.
and I'm like 36 now, and I'm realizing like that life ends. Like, not to be morbid, but like we're all on like a biological timeline, and I think that I should start kind of looking now. Also, like while I'm in my prime too, you know what I mean? Because like I feel like guys that start to look like when they're 50 and shit, like it seems a little something's off. Like
Well, it's weird if you're 50 and you're just still running around fucking everybody.
exactly.
I mean, if that's what you want to do, live your truth, but that's not.
It becomes less cute.
A lot of women are like, oh, I don't get it. Like, what happened here?
Right, and then at that point, I don't think you have pick of the litter. You know what I mean? When you're
Yeah.
like the old creepy guy in the club and shit. So I'm 36. I still feel like I got good
year.
good place in my life. No kids, knock on wood, that I know of.
Yeah, you probably.
That's crazy. You've had sex with so many people. You've had no kids.
Are you a big condom guy?
So always wore condoms
If you're fucking that much.
during the hoe phase. Like I have anxiety, so I'm a super hypochondriac.
Yeah.
So during the hoe phase, always condoms. You know what I mean? Now I try to get to a point where, like I said, I want the connections to be deeper and
More raw.
Dog.
I want the
Raw
connections to
dog.
be raw as fuck. And then like, be in a place where like, I guess I've been in like situationships where we're both clean and stuff like that
Yeah.
and no condom.
Okay.
Of course.
Nope.
Yeah. Like, that's how, I mean,
Everyone-
down here, like, God, I love condoms. Like you want to be, but
It doesn't affect my life.
But if
in
you
any
really
way.
are
I'm
having a
happy
lot
to
of
do it.
sex, then
Well, like-
you got to be safe.
It's crazy with like married couples. Like no one really like sits there and like thinks about that. Like how do they not, if they're not on birth control,
Yeah.
how do they not have tons of kids? Because that's what the point of your wife is, just to fuck her raw. I've heard of them that wear condoms too. I'm like, you have to
No,
wear condoms
stop.
with your wife?
I mean, you can time your period. You
it's
can
a
track
whole-
it. You can have an IUD. I have an IUD. So like,
That's
I
He's
birth-
can't
saying
get
if you're not
pregnant.
on
That's
birth,
birth
he's saying if
control.
you're not on birth control.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's,
none?
it's a struggle. It's like this is like the huge issue of like what are we supposed to do? Because like I went off of the pill and it was like the best thing ever happened to me. My life changed. I was happier. I was just like, but now I don't want to get pregnant and I don't want to use condoms with my boyfriend. So it's a constant struggle. I mean, that's I feel like my brother, they had a kid right after the first one.
Because everyone's
they're-
like, oh, like Mike from my show, like he just had 3 kids, like it was planned, it was whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, so now what happens? You guys gonna keep having sex, right?
No, I told my brother, I was like, we got to have a talk because 2 under 2. And I'm like, if we don't figure this out as a family, there's going to be another one.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
I'm like, the more kids, the better. But I'm like, I get it. Also, not wanting to get on birth control. But yeah, you're not trying to use condoms with your spouse. You can if it works for you.
You also
But
copper IUD up there. I can't recommend it enough. I love it.
yeah.
Yeah, from a sexual education, you guys seem like smart girls that talk about sex. So just the disclaimer is
Thanks.
obviously pre-cum can get you pregnant. I get it, okay?
Okay.
I like that. I just have to say that.
It's rare, but sure.
Pre-cum can get you pregnant. But if you pull out, like how
It's effective.
possible
It's
is
pretty effective. It's like 90% effective. I mean,
I'm scared.
Ashley is my
I'm
doctor,
scared
though.
to
No, I
say it,
believe
too.
her.
no, I know I have a lot of information. This was
Okay,
a
good,
struggle
good,
I
good.
dealt with a lot. But like, if you are like, absolutely not, I cannot get pregnant, you don't want kids, or you live in a state where you couldn't even, have an abortion or whatever, like, you can't rely on 100%. But yeah, pulling out it's
First of all, there's different definitions of pre-cum, I feel. And that's where I think the myth starts to get a little foggy.
What are the definitions?
I would love to talk more about pre-cum.
Okay, let's talk about it.
Well, like, okay, so
What's your definition of pre-cum?
well, my definition is different. So like,
Than a doctor's.
so as your, I don't think the doctors have a clear definition.
doctors
either.
aren't talking about this.
You do. So tell us.
I have mine. but it's like a foggy thing. Like no one's really talking about it.
No one's talking about it.
Yeah, we're gonna solve this right now.
I guess if gun to my head, if somebody's like, "What's pre-cum?" I'd be like, you know, when you're giving a hand job and like a little bit of wetness comes over the top of the head. That's
mine.
That's pre-cum.
Right, but I think that when people are thinking about the whole getting pregnant thing, I think they're thinking about like when you're about to bust. That like
last thrust,
you didn't get out quick enough.
Thrust, you didn't get quick enough, and like the pre-launchers went.
Yes,
you know what I mean. Like the guys that you send out first in the war, before like the
front line. They're
front
there to
line.
die.
Yeah, exactly. So like I think that's what people are, and then I get it because that's like some shooters right there.
Exactly.
That can get you pregnant. I think.
But the
wetness shit.
That's cum.
No, but I'm talking about the wetness.
The wetness on the top of the head when you're just like, that's.
By the way,
we're not doctors.
We need like so many disclaimers to this.
No, you guys
if you guys are taking medical advice from Vinny, you deserve what happens to you.
No, but like the wet. So you're in there. The wetness kind of develops, right?
Yeah.
It's not being shot out anywhere. It's just kind of floating in the
whelming around
urethra.
Yeah. Not the urethra.
It just kind of lubes a wall up, you know what I mean?
It lubes a wall up and shit. You're not ovulating. It's not that time.
Okay.
And then you pull out well in advance for the main final event.
Let's talk about pulling out too, because that seems like a really strategic thing too.
I don't know how you guys do it.
I have a question for you. If you're, this is graphic. When you pull out, do you have it timed so perfectly that it comes out and you shoot, or do you do one last like yank?
I know what you're saying. Like
one thrust, you mean, not yank.
Sometimes, guys, if you really are trying not to get that pre-launchers,
pull out
and then do a little final.
That's
yank.
my preference.
Well, sometimes like if you want to really pull out in advance, that's the sex is over, and then you're finishing somewhere else.
I'm saying you're still
You're
gonna
talking
come
about
on
just
her.
like a pull out, like
You've said I'm gonna come. Those words have come out of your mouth, like
while you're like still fucking.
Yeah,
and
like,
it's gonna go on her. Let's say.
Yes.
You don't go into another room.
No, I didn't mean other room. I meant like you come on her face or something like
so
that.
like how do you time it though? Before like when you come on the face, like do you
come on
pull
the face?
out?
You're out well in advance. You've left the party.
Okay, all right, let's go. Come on the tits.
You also left the part. It's hard to like time it so perfectly, spin her around. Like a lot of times, like I've
spin her around. He's like, I'm doggy style. I gotta flip her.
Yeah, I gotta flip her over. So like I'm already. The pullout is definitely safe in that thing.
Yeah.
But if you're talking about just like
missionary,
really like or
you're
missionary
on top.
or doggy, and like you're really getting to that, you're trying to like milk every second of it.
Yeah.
Then as a man, you have to kind of feel it and be out in time. Otherwise, there are the pre-launchers that go. And women shouldn't like. I don't blame them for not wanting to depend on a man to like get that right, because it is like a very fine line.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
it's a strategy. But then I feel like we've all been in those situations where it's like, I messed up, and now you got to take a plan B. He didn't nail it, and you're like, oh, all right, I guess I'll just figure this out tomorrow at the CVS.
He didn't stick the landing.
Okay, have you ever been in a situation where like you're also about to come and I am a different person? Like I don't know her. So like I am in a different orbit and like a guy will be about to come and I'll be about to come and I'll say something like, it doesn't matter, just come inside of me. And then after that happens, I'm like, God fucking
better have the
damn it, Rayna.
plan B in your hand.
Yeah. We go straight to the store. No, the guys I sleep with can't afford plan B.
While you're coming, I want you to take the plan B.
Right when my mouth is open, I'm like, I'm gonna come. You just toss it in.
Yeah.
When you come on their face, just throw it in there.
No, there's a weird, like, my dick has a weird biological underpinning of like, don't reproduce with this person, and that keeps me like safe. You know what I'm saying? Like, or not with this person, but just not right now. Because like I said, if I'm doing it raw, it's with like someone I like. You know what I mean?
Also, I mean, you are this like celebrity. I think that you're like known for like partying and being with girls and like.
So they're just like, come inside me.
I think there's a lot of girls that are like, I'm gonna get them. Not a ton, but like, is that a fear that you're like, I'm this famous person and somebody's gonna trap me?
Well, first of all, two things. Going back to what we were just saying, like I know a ton of guys that just shoot up the club nonstop.
Right.
I've had guys like not tell me that they're gonna finish.
I have friends like I'm like, what do you guys do? Aren't you afraid? Like,
I mean,
I think that they're just wired a little differently. Like once that animalistic act is happening, like they just can't control it. And I have that to an extent, but then another side of me comes in and like, is like, don't do this.
Yeah. You said you have like anxiety surrounding it. And I can't put myself in a guy's shoes who has like a lot of money and power, but I think I would be scared about it all the time. Like even when my brother was like playing college football and I was like, I think people would look at him and maybe see like NFL dollar signs. I was like, just be so careful. And this isn't like an insult to women that the women are out here trying to trap men, but I'm just saying like pregnancy can happen. So I would be so worried as a guy who has money and fame that
I think I'm only fucking raw with girls that don't want to reproduce with me.
Yeah. It would scare me.
I don't want to have a baby with Vinny from Jersey Shore. Are you fucking kidding me? My parents would kill me. Like literally that's who like I'm hunting,
That's so good. Yeah.
I say like
are you kidding me? And they're like, oh, psh.
Yeah, they're like, I don't have a baby with you. Like I say, I fuck up.
Yeah.
I don't fuck down.
I value.
You know what I mean?
You're like, are you on birth control? And they're like, I would never put myself in a situation to have a baby with you, Vinny.
Yeah, but you still never know. You can't, you never know. But yeah, you're definitely very careful. But no, for real, like the girls that I talk to and date, like they don't want any of the public eye shit. They have their own shit going on. A lot of them don't even know who I am, like in terms of the fame part,
They're like 20 and they don't know the show.
Yeah, they don't remember.
Nah. I see what you did there.
I'm just kidding.
Anna, do you know who he is?
Yeah.
Everybody here knows who you are.
I had an appearance the other day at like this club called Harbor. It's like a hot spot in New York. And I only go to like a couple places here. That's not one of them just because it's like a more of a party club. It felt cool because like all these like, I was like, oh shit, I still got it. Like all these like young people were there, but like a lot of them didn't know who the fuck I was. Or like they just learned about me. They were probably just like, oh my God, what famous guy is going to be there? And then they had to like Google it.
But you still are very much on television. As we're recording, the show is out. But you're on Dancing with the Stars. I don't have to tell you you're still famous, but you're still...
Yeah, just like a different... Like I grew up like doing this in my 20s. Like every fucking person in their 20s knew who I was. But now it's like their moms definitely know who I am.
That's so funny.
And they might know who I am.
So we don't need to get too deep with it, but like how has it felt over the years? I mean, we talk about this, like Jersey Shore season 1, like I would come home drunk and have to watch it. Like I'd bring a dude back home and be like, we got to watch this thing. We would just eat Taco Bell. Like, I mean, and I love that you guys have all stayed together and we were listening to JWoww on a recent podcast and just how the show was so different. You guys are really like a family. It's not like a cast that rotates in and out. And there's just so many things that are so special about it.
Yeah.
And we really have so much like respect for the franchise and we love all you guys. But I mean, how has it felt over the years, like how it's just evolved? Like because there was a moment in time where it was just like the biggest thing in the world, and now it's really like stayed
relevant.
You guys were like the original reality stars.
Yeah, I think we're like the longest running original cast on a reality show because a lot of reality shows still exist, but they swapped out the cast in some kind of way.
And it starts feeling really unauthentic. I mean, Vanderpump Rules is like the perfect example of this like ensemble cast that like are no longer friends with each other in each other's lives, and it feels uncomfortable to watch these people together.
Yeah.
But how has it felt like over the years? When you say you're kind of like still got it, have you enjoyed the trajectory? Are you still really enjoying doing the show? I mean,
well, it was funny. Like when I was like in my 20s doing it, I mean, we made some money, but like it wasn't crazy money. You know what I mean? And so like that was just more of like the party era and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But no, now like that I'm 36, like, and we've been doing it for so long and it came back for family vacation. I've done all the other side stuff. Like I'm now like looking around like, wow, like I've built like a nice life from doing this, So that's like important to me. I take care of like my family, I buy my family houses and shit like that, like all from, fist pumping at the Jersey Shore. But it took a long time to get there. Like it took like 15 years of doing it and all the ins and outs, ups and downs. For 5 years we didn't do it and I was broke. Like not broke, but I was like not making any money. So yeah, it just we're really fortunate that it came back in such a way that is like even more successful than the first one.
Oh,
it's not as like big as the first one because the
whole
never
recreate it. No one could.
And the whole world has changed.
Everything's different.
Yeah.
There was like 2 reality shows back then.
Yeah.
But in terms of like success and like we've done like 175 episodes or something of Family Vacation.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So
that's great.
Are you guys all like day to day? Do you like text? Are you
we have a
buddies?
group chat. We like talk every day.
Because
really
people ask him if they're all like really still friends. You guys do seem to have like,
we're more
genuine...
friends now than ever. That's kind of what I was saying about the years thing. It's like back in the day, it wasn't like that. We were all kind of like went there to party.
Okay.
We went our separate ways. We were like acting like celebrities and had egos and shit. Now everyone's like a mom and just like we want to get the job done. And we are really like a family together. Less ego, like
So how did the stripping start for people who don't know?
Going back to the food podcast, I actually like was struggling with my weight a lot, like after Jersey Shore.
Okay.
Because a lot of people, they're like, you were never fat. I'm like, well, you didn't see me like
When I was
in
off
2015, like, you know.
I saw one photo online because I was looking for a photo of you to put on our story, and I was actually
Yeah.
shocked. 'Cause I don't think of you. I don't think of you often, Vinny, but I don't think of you with like a gut.
Yeah, yeah,
Rayna
yeah.
was like, oh no, I saw those photos.
Well, I have like before and after ones, but
Okay.
if I didn't like purposely put that out there myself, like people wouldn't have really like noticed. Anyway, so I wasn't like crazy obese, but I was like, I gained like 50 pounds and shit. And then like long story, but I like started like discovering keto and biohacking and eating healthier and fitness and stuff like that. And then I got like in really good shape before Jersey Shore came back. I just like had abs and everything. And then it just timed perfectly with family vacation. And on family vacation, that was kind of like my new thing. They called me like the keto Guido. I was
right,
taking
right.
my shirt off. It's like, oh my God, Vinny's skinny now. He has abs, blah, blah, blah. So at that time, Chippendales saw that because obviously they want like a sexy guy.
Yeah.
So they,
Chippendales is like, what's the sexiest guy right now?
it's a hard,
It's Keto Guido.
it's a hard niche job to fill because you have to be relevant to sell tickets,
Yeah.
but you have to kind of be like a little Z-list because like what A-list celebrity is going to do Chippendale? You know what I mean?
That's so true.
So it's kind of like that in-between thing. Also, it's hard to like for a guy with a family because they're like 6-week long residencies in Vegas. You know what I mean? So like single, kind of hot, kind of sort of relevant guy. You know, I was like, here I am. But no, when we first got the offer, we all laughed at it because as soon as you think about the bow tie and what you're doing, it's like corny. But then when they like made the actual financial offer, I'm like, all right, well,
Less corny.
less corny and like this is worth checking out. So I went to go check out a show, and then when I saw the show, I was like, oh my God, this is literally like a comedy show. Like I've been in plays my whole life.
Yeah.
Like I did like an off-Broadway play. I did plays in high school, and I was like, this is exactly that,
It's
except
acting.
it's acting, it's dancing.
I brought a date to Magic Mike. It was a whole thing. It was an
Nice.
accident. But
A guy?
yeah, he happened to just be in Vegas. And we are like, do you want to come with us? And then no strippers talked to me or came anywhere near me.
Okay,
It was
okay.
horrible.
Best place to go to for a single guy.
Yeah, if you're
Totally.
single,
And then we say that
Like
at
our
our shows,
shows.
which we try to.
Oh,
we,
yeah, yeah.
we don't try to say this too much because we like it to
Don't
keep it a
want
safe
guys to
space.
go-
Yeah,
yeah.
but if you were smart,
Yeah.
because everybody's all horny at our shows. Like the messages we get, I've never been hornier. We were like, for real?
people
Yeah,
even
yeah.
have threesomes. They like fuck a person they meet
Why
at
didn't
the
we do a live show? What the fuck?
You could come.
Vinny, the whole thing is this whole show has been us getting to the proposal of asking you to open our show in Vegas. We're,
Oh, nice,
we're
nice.
starting the tour in Vegas,
Okay,
but
cool.
September 21st.
I wanted you to continue your story. So
I'll see,
you-
maybe I could do like a Chippendales weekend there.
yeah,
Yes.
Well, no, that's the thing. I would love to go back. They always want me to go back, but I'm
Okay.
like, I have to train for like 5 months to
Right.
go. And like, I just can't, like, it's not sustainable for me because they don't understand that I can't just like wake up and have abs like a lot of people do or do steroids. You know what I
okay,
mean?
right.
So for
Ozempic.
Chippendales, do they have like a headliner usually that is like sort of a celebrity? Is that like their main thing? I don't know about
Yeah. So they have the regular show, which is like an actual, it's not a strip club. It's a production
male
Yeah.
review.
in Vegas. And throughout the year, they have these like celebrity residencies. They've had them
Got
for
it.
years. They
Okay.
had Tyson Beckford do it.
I remember that.
They had
Yes.
Perez Hilton did it in more of like a hosty kind of way,
Okay, I
like
can
a
see that, emceeing
like a
it.
gay BFF type of thing.
Uh-huh.
They've had like Joey Lawrence, I think. There's like a nice Dancing with the Stars Chippendales pipeline
I can see that. Yes.
That's so.
because
That's
it's all Z-listers.
That's so funny. My boyfriend's sister, when she saw we were Magic Mike, she DM'd me and said she had gotten like a lap dance from Tyson Beckford, and I was like, "Can you imagine?" So
crazy.
obviously it was at Chippendales.
Were
when he
you
was-
giving
He
lap
made-
dances to people?
No. So basically, like the celebrity is the guy that just like brings the people in, sells the tickets, and then they have a formula of like he'll just jump in and host like a little game show that they have, rip off the shirt once or twice.
not no choreo?
No choreo because like
Oh.
it's not our main job.
Got
you know what
it.
I mean?
Right. Also, they have like a whole thing they've choreographed
They have
together.
a dance team.
But if
They
you
ha-
wanted to train and do that, could you? Could you be like, guys, I'm ready. I did Dance with the
yeah,
Stars.
so I kind of like started
ready.
to dip into like doing more.
Right.
I saw actually Tyson Beckford do the shower scene.
you
And-
did that, right?
Yeah, because I saw him do it. So
Yeah.
I was like, all right, like, because obviously you want to protect your brand. You don't want to, go too far overboard.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm like, Tyson Beckford's dope. Like, he's not like a porn star, you know what I mean? But he's sexy. You know what I mean? He can show his butt in a shower. Like, what's that guy's name from Grey's Anatomy? Like the really hot guy with the green eyes. No.
The other
McSteamy?
one. McSteamy or McDreamy?
I don't watch the show, but he did a Broadway show where like
Eric Dane.
didn't he show his whole
Dane.
dick?
Oh.
I got to go to that.
There's like a show like a baseball one.
Okay.
Anyway, like you can
Always crazy when they have full frontal.
Yo, we don't have full frontal.
That's what I'm saying. Like some of these off-Broadway
Isn't his name
shows.
like Jesse something? I don't know.
Metcalf.
No,
I'm making this up. So you have your pants on.
You can't show. It's not allowed.
can't show-
You
Chippendales
can't
is
legally
dick out.
show dick.
Okay.
No.
Yeah. So you did the
Are
shower
there strip
scene.
clubs where like they show dick, like male strip?
If you can envision it, it probably exists. But like, I don't know that there's such a market for it.
Yeah.
The way there is for like
remember.
pussy out strip
Like,
clubs.
I feel
This
like
is
just
the male
cock
review
stuff.
where there are male strip clubs. So there's one in Atlanta called Swing and Richards.
A male strip club.
Yeah, but it was really like more for gay men, even though
Yeah.
some of those dancers
Okay.
were straight. My friend dated one, but they had a sign that said like no bachelorette parties. Like it was a different vibe than a male
Okay,
review
okay.
because
A lot of-
there's very few male strip clubs out there that aren't a ticketed event.
I mean, a male
but I
review-
think the dicks were out. Swing and
Okay.
Richards.
A male review feels like you go out to dinner with your girlfriend.
Yeah.
everybody
Okay,
dresses
I
up,
have a
there's
question
no
for you guys.
penises.
So if you're at like a real bachelorette party, you guys have a cabin in the woods in Vermont or something like that, and you hear a stripper's coming, no pun intended. Do you want to see his dick? Or would you want to see just the regular, like he's wearing the Speedo,
Okay.
doing the things?
So
you know what I mean?
so we do strippers at our live.
I don't.
shows.
Yeah, I
I'm
don't need.
always
I don't need to see your dick.
I'm always the one that gets stripped on, and so it's probably I've had like 50 guys strip on me. It's been a lot, and some of them are varying degrees of hotness, but some have been very hot. Like my Christmas present a couple years ago was like very hot. Never in my life have I ever thought I wanted to see their dick.
Right.
Never. Not one guy showed us his dick.
Vinny, we had this one stripper. And we were in Chicago, so we were like, let's have him do a pizza delivery guy theme, right? So we have
My
a call with
specialty.
him.
See?
Exactly. That's what I'm telling you. We have the call with him. It was me and our old assistant, and we got on this call with him at like 10 o'clock at night. That's when he was able to talk to us. It was the most unhinged call. So we had to do like a pre-call with the stripper. It's like second time we've ever done this, and we're talking to him. She's like, I have to mute. I can't handle this. I'm laughing too hard. Well, at one point he goes, so I am a stripper, but I have a few other talents. And I'm like, he's going to ask to do stand up. I can't.
Yeah,
And then
yeah,
he was
yeah.
like,
He's like, yeah.
do you mind if I do
Yeah,
a
exactly.
magic trick? And we were like,
Magic show, yeah.
sure, Magic Mike, let's do it. So so many things happen. He was like, I got the pizza thing down. I have a whole prop. I was like, if his dick comes out in this box, he comes on stage in Chicago.
Let me set the scene also. My dad and my brother are in the front row.
Rayna's dad's standing up, his like iPad in
He's
there.
filming
You know,
it.
he's filming.
That's awesome.
So he comes out, he has his pizza box, and we're like, this guy is, he's just not hot. And it's fine. And he starts stripping on Rayna. He didn't have the upper body strength to like kind of hoist her up on his.
I'm whispering in his ear. I'm like, okay, lift me up. Now you put me on your shoulders. I'm like walking.
You're walking him through.
I'm walking through it.
the
Because she had
routine.
just been
like what
stripped
usually
on.
happens.
Yes, because she had
Yeah.
just been stripped on by the hottest, most muscular, sexy guy in New York. So she's whispering like, "Put me on your shoulders," and he's like rocking her like a baby, trying to get the momentum. He was
can't
like,
get me
"I think I
up.
could."
Yeah.
So he finally gets her up there. I'm like, then he puts her down and he comes over to me. He's wearing at this point, by the way, a Speedo and sneakers. It was wild.
Yeah.
And so he comes over to me and he just tips his Speedo down and shows me his dick. I was like, okay. And then he did his magic trick, and all it was bouncing a $5 bill on his dick. We're like, okay. And
What do you mean?
he just kind of like bounced a dollar bill like up
He
and
just
down.
moved it with his like hard.
That was his trick.
Was the dollar bill attached to his dick?
It was in his pants, and he just like used the muscle in his on his
Oh,
penis to like
okay,
move
okay.
the
That
dollar.
was his big trick.
He was hard?
Look at it, Ashley. Got hard.
No, no way.
He was like, I don't know.
Because don't they wear like a thing,
There was no thing.
like a cock ring that makes them hard?
That's
or something
I've
like
heard that. So, but
Maybe-
I
I
don't
don't
really
know.
know. It was all a blur. We were all like, this is like kind of unhinged. And so afterwards, we like got DMs from girls, and they were like, oh my god, like we've booked that stripper. Like we live here in Chicago. We booked him before.
Yeah.
We know him.
Oh,
They
right.
all had the funniest stories. One girl
He's
was like,
made the rounds.
she was like, he
the guy.
did our bachelorette, and his dick was everywhere. It was in our drinks.
Like a straw?
What do you mean? Like a penis straw? He was like
He's the
swirling
straw that
drinks.
stirs the drinks. Yeah.
Wow.
So we were like, this guy, it was truly the most like unhinged stripper.
Well, you know, there's like a
experience.
whole porn category like this.
Of what?
It's called like Dancing Bear.
Okay.
It's like basically emulates a male strip club, except the dicks come out and then they do things with the girls in the audience. It's all set up. Like they're all sign a release, and there's porn stars in the audience that like do it. You should check it out.
Why do you look at me? So why
Because
me?
like we're talking about this like fine line between like but what we're talking about, like completely unhinged.
Okay.
But there's porn star plants in the audience,
Yes.
and then they start doing what to the strippers?
blowing them.
Blowing them in the audience, and you're sitting there, a passive person who's bought a ticket to the show.
No,
and someone is sucking a dick next to you.
We're watching the porn on a
this
screen.
is just porn.
This is a porn. This is a
Yeah,
porn.
I knew it was a porn. That's why he looked directly at me and he's like, but you seem like you would like it. You're a piece
So
of
we
shit.
can't go to this, or we can?
You can't go. You can't go to it. I don't. You probably can if you want to make like $400.
A porn
Oh,
star.
as like an extra?
and be an extra. You know what I mean,
Okay, but in these, how many people are like in the frame?
dude? There's like hundreds of girls in this shit because
Wait,
there,
I feel like I could be into this type of.
or maybe like 100. Oh, it's great. It's great. Well, there's a whole genre too called CFNM.
What is that? I watch some weird shit, but I don't know what
Yeah.
this is.
What is it?
It's, clothed female naked man.
Okay.
It's like a genre where like the women are like clothed and the guys are kind of like their boy toy type of thing. It's like if you guys are doing this podcast right now and like a porn star came in and just was like with dicks out.
I'm just gonna start doing
After sex with
CFNM.
dick.
Like I'll do it this weekend. I'll just make my boyfriend be
take a
naked
dick
the
out
whole
at a
time, and
restaurant?
I'm just like, I'm gonna.
Yeah,
stay in it.
yeah. It's kind of like that.
I have like a
But what-
3-piece
I
suit
don't know.
on.
I don't know why. It's like a weird psychologically hot.
But what about it is hot? Listen, I watch like stepdad porn, so I
think-
can't. I'm not shaming this, but like, what is it? Like, is it you could be the person that like sucks this guy's dick in a room full of people? Like,
I don't know what it is.
I'm turned on by
the
it?
girl side. I don't know what it is on why they would be turned on by it,
Okay.
but like from a male perspective, because I'm assuming it's like mostly men. From a male's perspective, I think that like we've just been so desensitized to like naked porn star, like yeah, give it to
Yeah,
me. That
totally.
like when you see like a girl in like business attire or something like that sucking dick, it's almost like blurs the
I get
lines
it.
of like reality
Yeah.
and porn. You know what I mean?
That's
So I think
hot.
that's what it is. It's like imagine all these girls at the hair salon right now just sucking dick.
And then can we go to that?
Yes, let's go. Let's go. We could. But anyway,
it's actually called blowjob. That's the name
That's so
of
funny. It's the new dry bar.
yes.
called blowjob. Yeah,
I should do a dry bar collab.
Hand job.
with blowjob.
Yeah.
Well, you know, because
Hand
blowjob
bar.
is like hair.
Yeah.
Blow. You get it. What other kind of porn categories do you like besides this?
He knew that question was coming. You could watch and be like, damn it.
But the way he looked at me, like, you probably watch this. Now I'm like, what do you watch?
I don't know. I'm like big like threesome guy.
Okay.
2 girls, 1 guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or the other way. I usually watch more than one, like more than 2 people. You know that like there's a. I have to really like the girl. I'm in love with this like one porn star.
Okay.
We like follow each other too.
What's her name? Maybe she listens to this podcast.
I'm not saying it, but
Okay.
she's like so beautiful to me.
Our listeners will find it, but okay, keep going.
I don't know. I follow a bunch. I follow a bunch.
Well, which ones follow you back?
I would watch her like solo. I have to like be in love with the girl to
Okay.
watch
Watch
her
them with one
solo.
person.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Otherwise, I need like a crazy gangbang.
Okay.
Women have to accept that men have different
Oh, I don't think it's weird.
brains that they want different porn categories.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I want tons of different ones. And recently I've been more into threesome stuff. Do you think threesomes are fun or do you think they're overrated? Like not porn, like in
real life?
real life.
Yeah.
How do you know I've had one?
We just assume.
You get big threesome energy.
Like, I have like hundreds.
How do you assume I've had one?
I know we were talking to a priest.
I wouldn't say the word is overrated. Like it's definitely like enjoyable, but it could be difficult. It could be a struggle. There's more things to manage at that point. But I wouldn't say like they're overrated. Like when they're good, they're good.
Have you and Polly had a threesome together?
No. Even though Mike said that in his book. Well, Mike had this book come out where he was talking about all the heydays, like the crazy days and shit. And I'm like, we've definitely had like times where like we're all out in a club and then we all might like end up like in a hotel together type shit, but never like a threesome where it's like we're high-fiving and like hugging each other during, you know what I mean?
I bet it was totally on the table whenever you guys wanted. I bet a lot of women would have said that was their fantasy.
Fun, yeah.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jersey Shore threesome.
Never did it. I mean, in my one threesome only experience, it does sound better than it. I'm glad I did it, and I'm
You like got it out of your system?
yeah, and I never say never. Like I could do it again and probably enjoy it, but like that scenario, we were just like so drunk. It was so late. It was this girl and her boyfriend. Like it it did not like I would not suggest having a threesome with 2 people in a committed monogamous relationship that did not like have a discussion ahead of time. Like maybe we should bring a third in. You know?
Yeah. At this point in my life, like I would like if the girl really was into it, like almost like even more than me. Like I want to be a third party to them more than like I'm fucking these 2 girls right now. You know what I mean?
Too
Like
enthusiastic.
yeah, that's when and then like
Can't pull out on time.
always pull out in time.
Then you're coming on
always
everybody.
pull out in time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when it's like fun and it's not like a weird thing.
Okay.
So
So you've been in like a hoe face extended for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a one that got away?
a hoe that got away.
You couldn't catch her. No, do you? Because you know you kind of hear this with guys who, which I respected. Like, get it all out of your system, live your truth,
That's a
have
great
fun.
question.
But is there anyone along the way where you were like, God, I wish I would have been in a better like
Place.
place
Wrong.
in my life?
Right person.
person,
wrong
wrong
time.
Or is it just that porn star?
Nah, I love the porn star, but that's a great question. I would say yes. I would say that there definitely has been, definitely one, maybe two. I don't know if we would have worked out though, but definitely one that was like pretty solid that I just was not ready to do that. You know what I mean? And now that I'm in that chapter, it makes you really go back and think. And a lot of people usually do go back to those people. And I actually started talking to that girl again, but she lives in California, which I don't really love long distance.
Is she still single though?
Yeah, she is. She had just gotten out of something.
Okay.
So I know that happened. That happened to Mike too on my show, the situation.
They went to high school together or something?
Went to high school
right?
together.
Okay.
He got on the show because they were all older than me when the show started.
Right.
You were the youngest?
I was youngest guy. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Me and Nicole are the youngest by a couple weeks. But yeah, Mike went back to her after he kind of like did the whole partying celebrity thing. Because like, it's just how you going to have a relationship when you're
Yeah.
traveling every weekend like that, partying, drinking, stripping, you know what I mean? So
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like you've really lived life. I think that's great. And when you do decide to settle down, you'll feel like I really did it.
there hasn't been like a one that like the one that I'm talking about, like she was great, but like it was still long distance. There hasn't been one that really was like, oh fuck, like I really fucked that.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Have you been in a serious relationship ever? I don't say that as a judgment. I think you're just living your life and you're on. It sounds like you're honest with people about it. It sounds like you're not telling all these girls like, you
Oh,
could be
no.
the one.
Right.
No, I'm pretty transparent. But back then though, I probably should have like just been more honest with like not leading them on if I wasn't ready for like that kind. Even though like I felt ready, like I probably knew I wasn't like deep down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then when the show came back, it made it even harder too. You gotta understand, like I've done the stripping, I've done 3 dating shows,
Right.
the double shots of
Right,
love.
right,
and shit.
right.
I made a lot of money
Yeah.
being a single guy, which I have to take the money. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I'm not a fucking doctor. Like I have to do this for my future, for my family, for my kids and shit. So it was easier just to be single during those times. I couldn't do a lot of the I've seen guys waste a lot of money turning things down for girls that just they end up having like the worst relationship with,
right.
you know what I mean?
Or
Yeah.
we've seen people like on Love is Blind that apply for the show that are in relationships and then people find out and I think they go on for a little bit of fame, but like the internet always finds out that it always wins.
If somebody like has a full-blown relationship and goes on Love is Blind, like that's crazy.
Totally
because
crazy.
like you're looking to marry somebody.
Exactly.
But I want to, as the reality star expert here, I want to
Yeah.
clarify that like there's nothing wrong with being on a dating show and you're talking to people on the outside world. Okay? Because we all live in reality. We're all going to have situationships and people that we talk to. And then people like, and it's usually guys, you know what I mean? And whatever, like they can like hate me for this. But you know, they're like, oh my God, like you're talking to this girl. She said this. She said that you guys were dating each other. It's like, okay, so I was allowed to date 30 of you, but not 31 that lived in my real life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's like, so everybody on The Bachelor is talking to other people. Girls are talking to other people. Guys are talking to other people. Then you get into this concentrated environment. And now all of a sudden it's like you're supposed to erase like the rest of your life from it. You know what I'm saying?
Also, there is a
That's
chance
so-
you go on
yeah.
those shows. You don't like love is listen. I think it's really you're a real scumbag if you're actually in a relationship. You sign up for that, but talking phases, situationship phases.
yeah, everyone's like
nothing
kind
wrong
of in
with
like
that.
a talking phase and
Yeah.
shit. You know, I've done my shows where like I'm talking to somebody for like a month or two. And I'm like, sorry, I just met you, but I got to go
Yeah.
do this thing. You know what I mean? And I'm sure that they weren't thrilled about it, but they understood.
Exactly. There's
And I was like, if I meet somebody that's better, then sorry. Like, but if our love is so strong, whatever, then I'll come back to you.
right.
Our levels survive there.
Yeah.
I have a question because your
No
family is
questions, I'm
featured.
sorry.
No further questions.
You don't have to answer if you don't want.
I'm kidding.
Your family is like pretty heavily featured on the show and like
Yes.
has been. It's like so wonderful and charming. Do your family, specifically like your mom, say like when are you going to settle down, or she just stopped doing that?
No.
Like, do you feel comfortable and supported and by your family, however you want to live?
I wish she was more of like the overbearing, like settled down Italian
Really?
mom, but
Okay.
she's nothing like that. My mother, you know, they were divorced like from a young age and shit. My mother is like me. She like likes to be alone. She likes her solitude. And she knew I wasn't ready too. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like me when I see like a high school kid, like one of my little cousins, like crying over a girl. I'm like, bro, you're not going to marry this girl.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You still have to live your fucking 20s and shit like that. Like, this isn't real until it's real. That's why I'm not in many relationships, because why am I going to waste my time, waste the other girl's time when I know that ultimately I'm not settling down until I'm 35 years old or something like that. You know what I mean? And that's what's kept me single recently too, is like, I'm like, all right, like I'm only dating the one that I see myself marrying.
Totally. Okay, I have another question that I meant to ask before. Do you watch other reality shows, and do you have any faves? Like, is that your preferred type of TV, or are you like, I live it, I don't need to watch it?
Mostly don't, but like I'll watch like something that's hot pop culture wise. Like I'll watch like Love is Blind.
Right.
I'll watch like The Ultimatum and shit like that.
Totally.
I have a little bit of like a guilty pleasure with like the weird TLC ones, like 90 Day Fiance, Married at First Sight. But I just don't know what, there's so many of the seasons. And there's like 90 Day Fiance this way, 90 Day Fiance that way. It's like 80 Day Fiance. Like there's so many.
45 Day Fiance.
And it's like you see it and you see the same people on it. And I'm just like.
It's a whole, I'm not in that world.
You have to
No
be-
judgment, but you got to keep it's crazy. That world is a whole.
Married at First
But
Sight.
one of my favorite, like this is a Vinny exclusive take right now. One of my favorite things to do with like a girl that I like I'm in a situationship, is like cuddle up on the couch and turn on some like 90 Day Fiance.
Okay.
And just like, I like to like watch her watch it.
Yeah.
Because like, it's like a putting on Miss Rachel for my niece. You know what I mean? Like these girls, like you just
Shout out to Miss Rachel.
Yeah. Shout out Miss Rachel.
You like to see what people laugh at.
Well, it's just like girls, like they just get so like enthralled by like everything. Like how could she be doing that? You know what I mean?
I like watching dating reality shows with a partner. I think it's like stuff to comment on. Like
right,
when
that's what I mean. That's kind of what I'm saying.
Like I got my boyfriend into Love is Blind. I couldn't believe it. I was like, this is the greatest accomplishment I've ever accomplished in a relationship. Because he's never watched a reality show in his life, and he's into it. I'm like, this is so fun for us to talk about.
It's also like mindless. Like you don't have to like. It's like it's like background noise. You can walk away if you want to.
But you get to like talk shit with your partner. You're like, these people are crazy. You know, like
exactly.
It's nice conversation with anybody, but especially someone you're dating, because it's about dating. You know,
and it's like those shows are like real. Like you watch like I don't fucking know, Love is Blind or Too Hot to Handle or some shit. It's fake. Like they're on there to be famous and to be influenced. Yeah. Like these people are like really like flying to
which ones? Oh, 90 Day Fiance.
Yeah, they're really like flying to Brazil to like a small village somewhere and sleeping with like pigs. And I mean the animal.
Yeah, they're sleeping in the pig pen. Yeah.
for their girl. Like you really see like some like old guy getting taken advantage of like a fucking like Ukrainian escort. I'm like, I love this.
That's funny. That's the hottest
take him for everything.
The only real reality show out there. 90 Day Fiance.
For real.
What was the show? It's 3 women and they all go to each other's weddings and they all talk shit on each other's weddings and they have to vote
The Real
on the best
Housewives?
wedding.
Yeah, I think that's just Bravo.
Yeah, it was Teresa Giudice's wedding last season.
Yeah.
No, it's an incredible show. It was on TLC. It's 3 women. They all go to each other's weddings and talk shit on each other's weddings and they all vote on like the best part. And then in the end, the person that gets the most.
This sounds amazing.
It's incredible. And the person that gets the most votes from everybody wins a trip, like with their husband.
Why have you been gatekeeping?
Literally sounds like Jersey Shore family vacation. Because everyone gets married and divorced. And,
Not you.
Not yet. No, I'm the only single one.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess we kind of knew that. I'm curious how Mike feels about situationship as a word.
Yes, we've talked about that.
You have?
About that, yeah.
How does he feel? It's just.
Well, I think we also said that this is stupid, but if we had to name a boat.
Wait, that's the best thing. You guys gotta get a boat.
You gotta get a boat.
We gotta get a boat.
I feel
Not
like
the situationship.
Yeah.
You guys could do cruises.
Yeah.
Yes.
Should you get a Jersey
You'll never
Shore
be broke
fan
again.
cruise and call it the situationship?
Yeah, I think Impractical Jokers do that.
My friend works for that company that does all those cruises, actually, because Heather
You couldn't-
McMahon's going to do it.
I'd rather die than go on a cruise.
But
Yeah,
you
it's not-
could
it's
do
not
your
my bad.
comedy on it. Like you could do shows.
I'd rather die. I'd be freaking out. I'd be like, where's the land?
Well, can I ask about comedy?
Yeah.
Like you've had a lot of our friends that are comedians on your podcast. So like Jared Freed, Chris Stefano, Hannah Berner. I encourage people to listen. But how did you like get into comedy?
Like I was telling you before, like I've always had this like little acting passion.
Right.
Like when I was in my little plays and stuff like that. And then I wanted to continue that obviously when I got on TV. So I was like always like did little acting roles and stuff. And when Jersey Shore went off the first time, I like went to UCB like the Upright Citizens Brigade. I did like 6 years of like, I was like fully all in improv.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like advanced study. Like I was like living like the underground, like zip, zap, zop world of improv, you know? Yes, ending like
Yes,
crazy.
ending, yeah.
That's why I'm so good in bed, you know?
Yeah.
So much depth, Vinny. Wow.
You're so dynamic.
That's what she said. So I did that, and then I started doing sketch comedy. I was like writing sketches and stuff like that. This was still 2014, 15. Like YouTube wasn't huge then. Like nothing, like Instagram, like nothing was like as big as it is now. Podcasts weren't that big and shit. So anyway, so I got really into that, and then I was trying to like, then starting to dabble into like a little bit of stand up. I used to do like a lot of like Vinny and Friends shows locally to be like, oh, like I'm the reality guy that wants to try stand up now. And that's how I met a lot of these people that used to come on my Vinny and Friends shows and stuff. And they've blown up since. Like that's how I met Jared and maybe Mateo. And I don't know. So I've always had like I've been in like cross paths with comedians. And then I recently moved into the city, like the last couple years. Okay. And I was like, yo, like you live in the city now. Like I placed myself here to get on stage every night.
Wow.
And it takes a lot. Like I had to like really like force myself to do it. I have to force myself to do it every night. It's terrifying.
Do it every night.
Yeah. And
now you're doing it every night?
Yeah.
Do you want to hop on Ashley's show tonight?
Yeah.
Where is it?
Come over to the stand.
Oh, you're at the stand?
Yeah.
Jared's on the show?
It's a hot show. I used to run it. I've run it for like 5 years, but I moved away. But anyway, that's impressive to get up every night.
Yeah. No, I go up at the stand and it's just like it's weird for me because like sometimes it's Jersey Shore people and stuff like that. Like you can use that energy and they like you and stuff, but then sometimes they have no idea who I am and they're like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Like this is like hard. Like it's like the material is horrible if you don't know.
Well, you got to write material for people that don't know who you are.
Right. I have like, and that's what I'm developing.
But if you pander to those fans, it's going to be a huge pop.
Right.
We do a show that if I'm doing stand up and the audience is heavy girls got to eat, and I say anything that they recognize from the show,
use the
people
energy.
go crazy.
Yeah.
Well, that's why, I mean, people have said to me for years, like, why don't you do stand up? Ashley does stand up. And I'm like, but Ashley did stand up for like 8 years before I met her. You can't just like wake up and do stand up. And I'm in these environments like the Chicago Theater where there's 4,000 girls and they're supportive and everything I say is just funny and there's a laugh. And it's not that I don't have to work for it. I work very hard at what I do and I'm in entertainment. But I can't just like walk in a room and be a stand-up comedian all of a sudden just because I can do the Girls Gotta Eat shows. It's a different audience.
Got to go to UCB for 6 years.
Yeah. Well, no, then I took a stand-up class like at the Cellar, and like that kind of like catapulted me into like this. Well, that was like 3 months ago, and then I've been on stage every night since then, and mostly 90% of the time in front of people that don't know who I am, so I can develop that kind of thing. And then it was funny. I did a Vinny and Friends show at the Stand. And it was what you just described. It was that pop.
Of course.
I felt like I was at Chippendales.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right.
A real
like,
rush.
Well, it was like, it felt a little bit like, all right, what are we doing here? Like, you know what I mean? Like you're laughing at everything and shit.
Yeah,
like,
no, it's not real. You have to know in your heart that it's not the norm.
But you can kind of get a sense of like, you know, if they're laughing at the punchlines, that's good. You know what I mean? So it's really just like, that's what I'm doing. But my goal is to like, you know, like you look at Joe Gatto from Impractical Jokers, like he does theaters. It's insane, you know?
Vinny, I'm so impressed with you because I think if people didn't know this whole story, which of course if they follow you and they watch you, they know it. But like if you didn't know it, you'd be like, this fucking guy just thinks he can all of a sudden get on stage. But like you're like, no, I've been out here underground at the UCB doing like you really worked
if
for
you
it.
See
I don't
the
know.
places I do stand up.
I'm not trying to sound condescending. I just really like you're really doing it.
If you see the places I do stand up, like people like I've actually get comedians. They're like, you're too good for that. I'm like, no, like I am working out before I get to the major leagues. You know what I mean? But then sometimes I do perform at the major leagues, like at the Stand. And I'm like, oh, I could be here. Like this is fun, you know? So I kind of like try to do like a blend of both because it is nice to like have people like I'm sure your show is it fun?
Our live show?
Yeah, no, the show tonight.
So fun. I co-host it with Francis Ellis, and he's a comedian. He's over at Barstool, and like it's such a good vibe. It's so fun, and the way that we brought it together because he has like heavy male demo and I have heavy female demo, and so we really just get like a hot energy in the room. Yeah,
like people that understand comedy, that like they're following along with you. They want to laugh. You go to a lot of fucking comedy clubs where people don't want to laugh, and it's like, what are you doing here?
Yeah, we live in LA. That's what everybody there is.
Or LA, just everybody wants to be crowd worked. Like everybody wants to be part of the show.
Some people out here, people don't even speak English. Well, I'm like, all right, this is kind of crazy.
I think it's impressive though to be like, I could lean on the Jersey Shore thing. And I could get on these big shows as like this token famous person, but I'd like to like work out the craft.
Yeah, you know, it's just like when the one thing that intimidates me a little bit at the big places is like you're like sandwiched in between monster comics that have been doing it for 20 years.
Yeah.
And I've been doing it for like 3 months. You know what I mean? So that's why like when you have that pop, you want to use anything that you can in that moment to make yourself comfortable, because I just don't have the years and years of experience to do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think we'll wrap up, but people should go see you in New York doing comedy. If they want to date you, high quality human who's a dancer that you're sexually attracted to.
High quality, yes.
What else? Your podcast?
My podcast, Something Went Wrong. You guys are
Listen to
about to be
us.
on it. And yeah, you can just follow me on Instagram and watch Jersey Shore whenever it's probably over now at this point, right?
Yeah, but I'm
Go
sure
back
you
and
guys
watch.
will get renewed.
You know,
Yeah,
go
yeah,
back
yeah.
and watch
Hopefully
season 1.
we'll
Why not?
get renewed.
Maybe we'll do Single Shot at Love.
That's another.
Never say never.
We'll talk about.
We'll talk about it later.
Continue on. Something went wrong.
Okay.
Okay, well, thank you so much. You guys know where to find us, girlsgottaeat.com. Get tickets to the tour, girlsgottaeat.com. Maybe Vinny will
might
open in
open it.
Vegas. You never know.
Yes.
The No Crumbs tour. Girls Gotta Eat podcast is on Instagram and TikTok. I'm Ash Hess. Rayna is Rayna.Greenberg. Our sex toy company is vibesonly.com. Subscribe on YouTube. Share this episode with a friend. And there will not be a snack episode this Thursday. We'll be sad to miss you guys, but we will see you back next Monday.
Have a good week, guys.
Bye.